It is Friday, August 13th, and you are watching TCH Live. I'm William Waddy, aka the New York Knit, aka the Long Island Wag, taking you along for the next 4 hours as we play some 2-5 no limit hold'em. Looks like we're getting started with a $10 bomb pot. Hope everyone in the chat's doing great tonight. Be sure and hit like, hit subscribe. And away we go with some cards coming out. Looks like a PLO bomb pot, the right kind of bomb pot. See our chat regulars filing in. Looks like we've got super producer Carolyn in the box tonight. We got Seth pushing the buttons back here. 8 of spades in the window. That's the right way to start a stream. We got ace 9-8. We got top and bottom for Dante. Looks like an open ender for Josh. Chase with out a lot. Mike's got kings, and he's got an ace. 9-7 for Doug. Deuce on the turn. Looks like Dante's still ahead with the 2 pair. Heart draw comes in. Let's see who's got hearts. Looks like Sam's got the heart draw. Dante now going to bet his 2 pair. With the dry ace, Josh going to call with his straight draw. And Mike's going to come along. Well, it's the Sam. He's going to let go of that heart draw. Understandable. Certainly not a nut draw. And his hearts would have come in. They would have been best, but he wouldn't have known that. Josh makes the straight to the jack. That'll be the best if it gets the showdown. Dante checks it over to Josh. Looks like he potted it. Not sure he's going to get any takers. Mike with just the 1 pair. Dante had the 2 pair, but a million draws got there, so it's going to be tough to make a call. He is going to fold. So Josh takes the first pot of the night. We got Chase in there tonight. We got Doug, Austin, Jared, Dante, Mike, Sam, and Alessandro. Looks like a great lineup. The backgrounds and all that.
I'm working on it.
And a whole lot of nothing so far for these players. We got Sam with some 7s. He'll open it up. See what Chase decides to do. Well, looks like he already put in the $10 straddle. He is going to defend with the 5 deuce. And he is going to flop himself a pair here. Currently behind the 7s of Sam. And Chase is going to lead out for $65. Pretty big bet. Sam not going anywhere with this pair. The jack turn completes a heart draw. Neither player holding a heart. Chase now going to check it over. Sam happy to check it back. 3 on the river. So Sam is best if it gets to showdown. Goes check, check. And Sam will be delighted to take down the pot with those black 7s. And in the chat, several people are noting that we're seeing some unusual backgrounds. We are having some technical issues. We are working on that right now. Apologies for the difficulties. And we got another $10 straddle here. Alessandro deciding that King 10 is good enough.
Great, which one?
That'll be part of the deal. It's going to be an investment property. If it's rental, that'll be part of like the lease agreement thing. Yeah. We're going to have use of
Oh, yeah, that's good.
20 or 20.
And Josh going to defend that Queen 10. Chase coming along with the 6-5 suited. Mike wakes up with aces in the straddle. He is going to go ahead and raise it up. $60. Alessandro coming along. This might cause an avalanche of calls here. Looks like Josh is going to call. Chase didn't call 15 to fold for 60, so we're going to the flop 4 ways, which is probably just what Mike wants. And it will be a 6-4 deuce flop. So Chase with top pair and a gut shot. Mike with the overpair. Not much else for anybody here. Chase going to go ahead and lead out again. Looks like a pot size bet, roughly 260. And Mike's sitting here thinking, what's he got? Chase certainly capable of doing some creative things. These look like calling chips from Mike. So if he is bluffing, you want to call and let him bluff the rest of his chips because the rest of them are going in on this turn. And Mike is going to call. Others are going to get out of the way here. 760 in the pot, 570 left behind for Chase. To the turn we go. It is a 9 of hearts. Chase downgraded to second pair. Checks it over to Mike now. Mike's going to say, let's go, all in. And now Chase is going to consider his options here. He's considering, is my pair ever good here? Is he ever somehow on a draw? Probably not, given that he raised, and Chase is going to let it go. So Mike picks up a nice pot. Little straddle special with those aces.
So like a whole one. It's like Jersey Mike's.
Looks like we do have the video fixed now. Good work to junior producer Seth on getting that going for us.
Yeah, only Whataburgers.
Everything closing. Everything closing.
I eat whatever I want at 3 in the morning.
I like the food truck scene as well. You don't really see that up north.
I mean, the food not like towers. But obviously, I'm from it's my favorite. This thing's not bad, like, for sure.
King Jack suited for Josh. The King Jack of diamonds. Gonna open that up. Chase gonna call with his 7-6. Gonna try and flop himself something. Ace 4-3. So Chase picks up the gut shot. And Josh probably not loving that ace. He's going to put up the C bet though. Or rather, flop one, check, check. King on the turn gives Josh a pair. He bet the turn, gets that through. So Josh picking up another pot in the early going.
Seafood is one thing.
Crab oil, not ourselves. I felt like king crab legs, it was like 180 for like
Looks like this $10 straddle is getting some momentum tonight. Hopefully we see more of these.
Sorry.
Spices this game up a little bit, makes it easier to get your stack in.
5, 10. Oh,
Jared gonna limp in his 7-6. Offsuit probably a little bit light. If you are suited, you are gonna flop a lot better. You can flop draws and then be able to continue a lot more often.
20.
We see Josh flatting the Queen 7 suited. Mike gonna make a little min raise with the King Jack of diamonds.
4 players.
And everyone's gonna call. And we get a flop of Ace 7 deuce. So Jared and Josh both picking up a pair here. Gonna check through. 7-6 makes sevens up for Jared. And he is gonna fire out a bet here of 60 bucks. Josh not going anywhere yet with his pair. King high is getting out of the way. River's another 7. So this is going to be trouble for Josh. He makes trip 7s that are no good against the 7s full of 6s for Jared. Jared going to make it 150. We'll see if Josh decides to just call or if he decides to raise. Looks like just a call. And he's going to be relieved that he just called. Going to show that 7. Say, look, I rivered a 2, buddy.
Anything that he calls that I read it.
What a fun time to do the math.
Albanian Marty, nobody again. Where are you at, bro? I'm in the booth, buddy. You're hearing me right now if you've got the volume turned up. If you like what you're seeing, be sure to hit like and hit subscribe. Let the whole world know that you enjoy TCH Live. Then YouTube will show more people TCH Live, and everyone will be watching TCH Live.
I've done well every week recently until
No straddle this time from the guy who just scooped a big pot.
I was, and then.
But straddles are not mandatory
Jack
here.
tonight,
You are free to straddle or not. Sam going to open the King 7,
full call,
suited.
aces.
Seeing lots of diamonds here. Josh with the 8-7 of hearts.
Eric had 9,
Gonna
10.
call.
I
Has his
four
chase
bet
with
pre-flop.
his better hearts.
Was it suited?
It was suited. He flopped an open ender. I bet big.
Looks like seat 5 is also called. Action tracker hasn't quite caught up yet.
Can you just put 2 out? I don't have well enough change.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
5 players. So Eric's price.
All right, Mike calls with the Ace-2 soft suit. Austin with the 9-6 offsuit. Austin flopping an open ender on the 8-7 deuce board. 8s and 7s for Josh. And middle pair for Sam. Bottom pair for Mike. Sam gonna bet out the King 7. Just the middle pair. Josh gonna put in the raise immediately with his open ender. Gonna fold to Austin. He's got a decision to make here. With his open ender. He is gonna flat here. And Sam will get out of the way. See if we get an interesting turn here. King of hearts. And I'm sure Sam's heart sinks having seen his king come out. Well, it would have been the better 2 pair, but we can't be results oriented. Josh gonna cut out another bet. Looks like 300 this time. Now Austin's going to let go of the straight draw.
7-8, flop top 2.
No, Seth was telling me something.
As we continue here on this Friday night, TCH Live coming to you from Texas Card House in Austin, Texas. I'm William Waddy, taking you through these next few hours of poker. We've got some folds. Action Tracker's not quite caught up yet. Dante opening with 10-8 suited. Some more diamonds.
Do you have white?
Chase calling with the mystery hands.
All right, heads up.
Looks like some change getting made. Jack 5-4. Just some backdoors for Dante. We still don't know what Chase has.
25. Fold.
Dante fires out a C-bet. Chase folds.
Do we need to tell you if we?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Hit in on $100.
Seed 7 added on $100.
250.
Seed 8 added on $250.
It's not 6 and 7.
Oh, in the computer,
All right.
this is 10.
Here we go
It's a
with
10-handed table.
another hand being dealt out by super producer Carolyn.
That makes sense, right? Seth, you got that? Did you get the add-on? No, you heard none of that. Seed
Seth just can't hear anything.
6 added on 100. Seed 7 added on, you said 150 or 250? 250.
Looks like Chase limps in.
Yes.
Still getting caught up here.
No?
I think it's 7.
Yep.
No, 6 and 7.
Limp, fold, limp. And we get a raise out of the small blind
Do
at
that real
30.
quick and then maybe the action. We know where you're at.
Now we actually get to see what they were doing this with.
Yeah, Chase call.
Chase with the 8-3. Hike 10-8 off.
Call, fold, call, raise to 30.
Austin with the Choctaw nuts, the Jack Deuce. Jared opening the King Jack off. Alessandro looks like he put in a 3-bet there.
That's fine.
Now I considering and folding Austin
That's what's
all
back
done
over
with the
here.
Jack Deuce. Jared probably gonna call for that price that he's being given.
Oh, 5 more. Sorry.
Does have the superior king right now. Alessandro can definitely be an aggressive player. I got to play with him on Sunday in the tournament.
Okay.
Definitely kept us on our toes. And Alessandro is going to outflop Jared with the 9-high flop, giving him top pair. Going to put up that C-bet. Jared all done with his hands.
Only did not
So Alessandro taking down a nice little pot there.
need to raise.
No, I opened and I got 3 bets.
And going on here at Texas Card House all this month, we've got the bad beat where everyone wins if it hits. So each day the jackpot goes up $1,000 and it gets one hand easier to hit. Today it is quad tens or better beaten by a straight flush or better for a $42,000 jackpot. And everyone in the club gets $100 if it hits.
Is 2 hours
See
later.
TexasCardHouse.com for complete details. And now on to this next hand.
I just pay my wife when I
Raise
come
20.
here. So I know,
Dante opening up the Queen Jack offsuit under the gun.
I'm like, we gave it 300 today, and then, you know, it's kind of expensive, but she thinks it's still working.
It's not cheap, no.
It's not cheap.
No.
She makes more
Chase with
I used
another
to
suited
think
connector.
Pay me.
Just gonna call.
Josh fold, Chase called. Fold. Fold, fold,
wife was a salesperson. You get to leave, there are days on.
Jared defending his button with the king nine suited.
Raise.
Alessandro coming along with, oh, he's three betting with this 10-9 offsuit. Told you he could be aggressive. This is definite aggression here. And it just might work. Dante, the opener, going away.
The board does not approve our forwards.
Chase not playing deep enough to pursue this suited connector any further. He's going to let it go. And Jared going to let go of what was the better hands with the king nine. So Alessandro with the steal.
So I'll tell you the biggest change. I'll tell you the biggest change from when I started to now. I don't understand how even pre my generation they did.
And it has been such a great week here at Texas Card House. We had Brad Owen and Andrew Neeme out here the last 2 days. They had a meetup game on Wednesday. This place was packed, and it was a lot of fun. We had the stream last night. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch that in our archives. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was amazing. And they were just, I think we're so much more productive because of that.
Josh with the suited king, Chase with the slightly better suited king. Now Mike's going to put in the race with the pocket threes.
Raise 105.
Boston with some queens. Going to three bet with a very legitimate holding. Alessandro contemplating what to do with this 10-8. And he's going to make the correct decision to let go. Back to our limpers.
And that's what I loved about closing.
Josh is out of the way. Chase is out of the way.
105 now.
I could see Mike calling here, trying to hit a set. And he does just that. He's looking for a three. He does not get a three. Boston with the overpair. Mike not making the set. This is probably going to go bad folds.
Bet 85.
Austin with a little $60 bet. Or 85 rather. Guess there's a third green chip there. Mike doesn't seem to be a believer yet. And he hits his three! His call gets rewarded with bottom set. This could be trouble for Austin. Austin having no reason to think he's behind right now. Only draw that gets there on this turn is 7-4, which is pretty unlikely.
Bet 240.
Now Austin going to make it 240. Mike's decision is all in now or all in later. Cutting out some chips here. Cutting out some more chips here.
Raise 600.
And he is going to go ahead and raise it to 600 now, which will effectively ends up putting Austin all in. He's not going to call the 360 and just have 200-ish behind. So the question is, all in now or all in later? Be really hard to fold the queens. He goes all in. He gets snapped by Mike with the set. Austin needing a queen and a queen alone. Here's the river. It is a 9. So Mike going to stack Austin. Good before the flop, good on the flop. Outrun on the turn.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
And we'll count this out. And If you like what you're seeing, hit like, hit subscribe
So far, you see what I'm saying? So far.
as we continue on this Friday.
Yeah, you down, Barry.
It's starting to get busier here at TCH Austin. We got a few 1-2s going. We got our Kilo free roll going. Come on down here and join us.
Mine in 10? Okay. Gotcha.
You down, Beto.
Got a like goal of 250 likes. Let's smash that. Let's hit like. Let's get more people into this stream. Tell your friends. Tell your friends you're watching the best poker stream going
5:30.
and hit like. And looks like we're going to get a $30 straddle from Chase. In case you don't have enough reason to hit that like button. Going to get some action here,
30
we
to go.
hope.
5:30. Turn. And
It was late. I was like,
Austin's going to reload.
yeah.
Duck with the 4s.
call.
And he is going to limp the $30 straddle. Alessandro with the king queen.
Raise 130.
And see what his action is.
Fold.
He does raise it to 130.
Because he down bad, it's like 250.
Certainly reasonable holding to do that with. Chase with the king 8 suited. He's going to go all in for the remaining 460. Alessandro happy to call off with the king queen, the superior king.
No, you're right. Though.
He has no.
Yeah.
He has totally no advantage. So
And queen 10-5. Ace on the turn. River is a deuce. So king queen gonna be good for Alessandro. Gonna stack Chase.
He might not go away.
he goes away probably. Yeah. But like,
If you do that Dante at any point tonight, you got a chance to get the tornadoes.
and you get
Getting a what? What was the first thing?
That's apparently the name of the
it's
poker.
called tornadoes.
Chase hasn't added.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I told you.
So Alessandro gonna get pushed to
That's
pot.
why that's the joke.
Austin, what'd you come back for?
One of our winners in the early going tonight.
Chase come back for. All right, Chase gonna go home.
That is exactly what I said. That's how he said it.
I said tornadoes.
Gus said bye. Have a good night.
We all heard tornadoes.
And be sure to join us this weekend on TCH Live. We've got our tournament final tables. Dallas final table tomorrow night. They're 20K guarantee. And join us back here in Austin Sunday for our WPT Step 1 final table. I'll be doing the commentary for that. And sure it'll be another good one.
See it on live stream.
King Jack offsuit for Doug. Gonna open that up. Austin with the ace 3 suited. Gonna stick around.
Someone tried to steal his
Alessandro suited gapper
and he just
is coming in there.
No, just one dude, and he like runs up to the car, opens the door, pulls the dude out of the car, and just yes, that
Looks
was
like everyone
exactly
else
what
gets
he said.
out of the way here.
Exactly, like, he posted a video of it on Instagram. That's literally the caption from the wrong guy.
I heard you say you serve.
See Jack in the window. Doug is going to flop the top pair. Austin with the bottom pair. Not much for Alessandro. Couple of diamonds. Nobody holding a diamond.
Bet 40. Call.
Does mostly apparently welding.
Doug going to put out the C bet, and Austin going to call once with the pair and the backdoor spades.
Scary. The whole thing is just.
10 turn, not going to change a whole lot.
Thinking about doing some other things, and I just got unmotivated. I wanted to be the seal. I wanted to be fucking this guy. I was like, you know what? No.
How old are you?
35 now.
So
I was 23 when I went in. So.
career vet,
Bet
right?
115.
At this point.
Doug going to fire again and skip the fold.
20. I did 12. I had enough.
What are you gonna do now?
I work for a software company now.
Tomer Nessiman, I've probably butchered that name in the chat, wondering what these blue chips are all about. Those blue chips are tip chips. So those are $2 tip chips. You can tip the dealer or the staff with those. You can also tip with these cash chips. The difference with the tip chips is that they are not in play.
Are you in? Bomb pot? Oh yeah.
No.
That's just funny for me.
Always. You're like,
Not dated. Bomb pots.
you walk a bit faster. Start running, sprinting.
Can we choose our own bomb pots?
What?
Choose the bomb pots? Place them
They're a dealer change.
Great, 35.
You didn't want to answer me.
Sam with the ace king suited, make it a 35.
Be a producer if I'm doing the scanning, right?
He has not mentioned a thing, so you're doing it right.
Thank you.
And it opens.
And he's not going to get any action with that ace king. Just going to pick up the blinds.
I mean, you're allowed to do them on the other change. I don't care. It's really up to Seth, but
That might. This is one of the few times tonight that we haven't seen a flop.
Oh, we did do dealer chain bomb pots.
last time? Oh, at the table over there.
We had
I
someone
see we
get
stuck a
someone
link to the merch in that chat. Go check that out.
Taking like
I got
15
myself a
minutes
couple of
to
TCH Live t-shirts.
They do sometimes take
Last
away.
time,
I know that
blah,
you-
blah, blah.
Especially you
Wanna
got tables with
represent
people who aren't used to
One of the
that.
best
That was
poker
the thing. It
streams
was
out
not
there.
It was not a fast moving game. It was,
I'm with you, Chris.
I thought it was
and the orbit is a lot of on pods.
Looks like we get a $10 straddle.
Can I use the same cards on both boards?
I love it.
Looks like Alessandro's built himself a little chip pyramid, something he likes to do. I do appreciate that he keeps it in countable stacks, though. Those are stacks of hundreds.
But I love teaching them about bomb pots.
Way to go.
Just say the word pot.
Very important that you keep your stacks countable to keep the game moving.
Everybody will agree then.
Yeah.
And he gets it through with the Jack-6 offsuit.
Who doesn't really know, they want to raise, so they just say.
I mean, I would have called it anything.
But it's just not that.
All in. That's all in. Like, it was a
Certainly
pot
an
getting
adventurous
called and
open.
now a repot. It's like,
That's everything.
that's 2,500.
Yes, you'll steal the blind sometimes, but sometimes you're going to be crushed when you get action. That's the downside.
Oop, that's you done. 5-10. Straddle book. Boom.
45.
Raise. 45.
That is reasonable bet, sir.
Queen Jack suited for Josh. Going to open that up. He's at 45 over what looks like a $10 straddle from Alessandro.
Wow.
Mike with the ace-9 offsuit, going to stick around.
Something exciting.
Doug with the king-queen offsuit. Considering his options here,
10 minutes ago, what happened? Oh,
Yeah.
that hand.
like any of the options are available here.
Oh, it was, yeah.
If you think something funny is going on, he's dominated. He could let it go. He could call reasonably. He could also 3-bet reasonably, given how white some of the holdings have been. The 3-bet could get through here, and it looks like he is going to put in the 3-bet. Looks like a big one too.
Sorry, it was a raise to 255. Fold, fold, fold.
255.
Fold.
That takes the word reasonable out of it now, doesn't it?
Queen Jack suited going to fold. Mike has to decide if he wants to play ace-9 offsuit out of position, and he's going to decide not to. So
We'll find out in
Doug's
like
3-bet getting
10,
through.
12 minutes.
Whether you're high or not.
The nice thing about the 3-bet is sometimes they fold an ace. Sometimes they fold a small pair. And it's really great if king-queen gets one of those to fold.
Okay, we'll put it on one a little further away. Let's just get up to the piece.
So aggression wins here. And we continue on.
You are not in the blinds. You can straddle if you like.
I had a really pretty queen high.
You're gonna be small.
Probably.
The prettiest queen high you could imagine.
Ace not suited.
I might have.
Mine was queen jack. Spades, super pretty looking.
My button. After my button, can I move that?
Jack spades.
All right, here we go.
So normally we say no.
You were dominated.
You're right. It's just because it's a random draw. You
Josh,
guys drew for
thinking
sweet,
about it.
right? Okay. Then you're
Gonna fold whatever
trying
that
to defeat the
was.
purpose of doing it randomly.
That's a great
we
draw
got
hand.
fold,
That
fold,
got all
fold.
the draws.
Thank you.
Fold,
I'm gonna be back in
fold,
30 seconds.
fold.
I probably need your set to
Chop
my
them out of
straight.
my
Just fold a lot.
And Alessandra's gonna get a walk.
You're like astute observation.
Next.
John McDermott asking whether players can show their neighbors' cards. That's something that's generally not really encouraged. If this table's cool with it, then that's what they're doing. Certainly, you don't show your cards when there's like when they have cards or when there's significant action happening. But not something I personally do myself.
Oh.
And you also don't necessarily want to show your big folds to your neighbors because they might take advantage of that.
Fold.
Josh gonna open up the
I don't know
ace
what that's from
seven.
either, but I definitely recognize it. Raise the seven
Jared with the
flat.
better ace and the suited ace on the button. Gonna put in the 3-bet. Alessandro with pocket tens. Just gonna flat small blinds. Could have gone either way there.
On your phone, it's really loud.
Josh gonna call with his ace seven.
All right, three players.
Currently sitting in third place, needing a 7.
So it's
10 in the window.
reels, but that's it.
Top set for Alessandro.
There's just nothing else to it. Check.
And Jared has a combo draw. He's got the spades. He's got the gut shot. This could be fireworks.
Attractive people, it's like children and old people.
Jared gonna bet 125. See how Alessandro proceeds. The raise is probably best with so many draws available, and he is gonna put in that raise. A whole mountain of green chips going in there.
military deck and home.
Jared just gonna call, gonna try and hit his draw.
Every time, and I don't know why.
Dante is going to be banned from this stream.
Deuce of diamonds, the biggest
Knicks
brick
fan by heart.
there
I
is.
played with the Knicks when I was in college. I went to
Alessandro, if he was good, is still gonna be good here.
Bet.
And now he is going to bet huge to where it would just go in here if it continues. Makes it 450.
So you're a Patriots fan, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I think Jared's either calling or shoving here. Or he's just going to call and then I guess fold if he misses.
I play with poker.
Saying, I know you're ahead, but I think I can get you and I have position. And the king of diamonds comes in. Jared rivers the straight to down Alessandro's set. Alessandro gonna shove and he's gonna get snapped. And nice river. Nice river to Jared.
The bet was 305.
And Jared gets the full double up here. Gonna count this out.
Got it? Oh, he went all in? Oh, no, he didn't say anything.
So this might be our Yeti cooler of the night. Certainly one of the early candidates.
No, I mean, I didn't see anything, so. I didn't hear him say anything, so.
See if,
You coming in?
I guess Alessandro does have some money left. See if he tops up.
Okay, we're gonna do it.
Oh, finally, bell pot time.
All right, here's your time for bomb pot on
I don't
stage.
care. I don't want.
So some fireworks. It's been a
All
very
right, guys,
busy
that's
first
my
hour here.
time. Thank you very much. Good luck, everybody.
Playing pineapple?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Pineapple bomb pop?
Chat pros demand to
Everyone's saying, what a sick river. Yeah, that was a sick river. That's what this game does to you sometimes. Sorry.
Oh,
And we got a guest in the booth now.
hello, everyone.
That would be the voice of super producer Carolyn joining us for a bit. How are you doing tonight, Carolyn?
I am doing okay. You guys already saw me for a little bit in the box.
And Carolyn just pushed out 15 minutes ago on the delay here. Can't immediately tell who's in now.
This is John.
This is John. Yes, John in the box now.
Anyway, no.
Still having a hard time telling you all from the tops of your heads for the most part. Some of you, easy to spot. Some of you, it's like, I got to get another angle.
Yep, there's a lot of just brown hair and white arms. That's pretty much it.
Looks like we are going to get a bomb pot here on the dealer change as usual.
Yep. $10 PLO, single board. We have some fireworks here. Oh, I was going to pull up the chat too.
Yeah, that's the dumbest game strategy.
How's everything going, Will? Are you having fun yet?
Oh, this is fun.
Good.
We got a fun lineup, and yeah, they're not
Seen some
disappointing.
pots tonight already. That last one that you were just calling with Alessandro and Jared was that was a good one.
Definitely. All right, king, 7, deuce flop, 2 spades. See who's got what.
Check. Check.
It's on the button.
Okay, checked it around to the button. 35.
Looks like Alessandro's got the most equity right now, holding the queen 7-4-3. So he's got middle pair, which is somehow the best right now.
No pocket pairs.
Nobody,
no king.
no king.
Oh, I don't know.
We don't know what Josh has at the moment. Josh presumably has something. Alessandro put up the tiny 35 bet. Josh called it. And Josh attempting to rescan his cards. Sometimes these cards are a little bit tricky about scanning, especially when you've got 4 of them. Got to spread them out just right. Hope the cards are behaving properly. How many times, Carolyn, have you told us to rescan our cards?
Every day.
Every
All
day.
day, every day.
The deuce pairs on the turn, puts up the spade draw. Alessandro gonna pot it roughly, and it's gonna get it through.
There's a misread on the board. But that was my fault because I entered that hand in. So.
That happens sometimes.
Nobody paid too close attention to it. There was nothing wrong with the cards. Just clicked the wrong button.
Misclicks happen to the best of us.
Yep, I've had my fair share of them.
Now, I'll admit I was sitting in a game elsewhere last week, and I misclicked, and I got really rewarded. I thought I had a spade draw in a pineapple variant, and it was not a very good spade draw, but then I accidentally made top boat
Oh,
and won
well,
a bunch
that's
of
not
money.
so bad.
So sometimes you get rewarded.
Okay.
Raise 20.
Josh opening 9-8 offsuit, but he's got that 8 of spades. As our friend Steve Zola would tell us is the best card.
He can't lose.
Can't lose, except when it does, but then that's a mistake.
That's just poor play.
Yeah.
Can't blame the card.
Alessandro going to put in the squeeze with the suited ace wheel. I think maybe he's figured out that that this table's playing a bit on the loose side, and here he gets called by a couple of worse holdings.
All right. I already know what happens to this hand. I won't spoil it.
No spoilers. All right, 8-5-4. So,
Got a gutter to a wheel.
yep.
Backdoor
wheel draw.
hearts and top pair for Josh.
That's right.
Mike's got 2 overs. See if he wants to float.
And Josh is going to just dock $100 in there. Dock might be a little bit short. We'll say he'll lead out. Leads into the razor.
Not personally a fan of that move, but to each their own.
Yeah, now Alessandro going to say, I don't buy this. I'm all in. I'm supposed to
blame
have the
him.
better hands. I'm the razor. And Josh is going to say, I've got top pair. I call.
I mean, as I have heard before, Josh does have the nut advantage in this particular case.
Yeah, he can have the sets here, yes. 7 and then an 8 on the river, so Josh.
Three
going
of a
to
kind
hold.
eights. Gonna
Three
take it
eights.
down. 8 of spades, can't lose.
8 of spades, darn right.
Can't lose.
I was suited. I was suited. I would have crushed you.
Players checks live stream. I still believe that's a lie. Thank you very much. No, but you, if it were suited.
All right, so I think Alessandra's going to reload here.
These are all things that I already know because I'm clairvoyant.
Yes,
I
clairvoyance.
can see the future.
She can see the
So
future.
he's rebuying for $800.
All right. So what are the winning lottery numbers tonight?
Well, we've got 7, 14. No, don't. I'm not even going to continue because,
Damn. Not that far into the future, I guess.
yeah, no, I have a 15-minute max.
And not beyond these walls, sadly.
I mean, if I could really see into the future, I think I would never lose at the
Yeah.
table. So,
Very true.
$10.
You know that river's coming.
yep.
We've certainly seen some dirty rivers already tonight.
Yeah, straddle's on. It's pretty much on almost every hand.
These players love to straddle.
And nothing much going around the table.
Dante gonna raise. Josh gonna call for threes.
Mike's going to defend from that straddle. That's why you put it out there, so that
Yeah,
you can just,
can't fold. Or
you
you got
know,
$10 in there.
then
He's gonna
that's
make trips.
exactly why you put the straddle out.
That way you don't go and fold trips.
Exactly.
Flop.
And then tell the whole table, oh, I folded a 5.
Checks through, and now Dante's going to pick up a pair here, and he's probably going to think he could be ahead, given that it checked through.
Oh, yeah.
I bet 55 right into Mike. Gonna decide whether to raise now or whether to just call and keep Dante in there with everything.
It's a call.
That is a call.
Don't want to give anything away. Oh, Dante
Jack
picks
on the
up a
river.
better pair.
Dante's going to make 2 pair now.
Yep, jacks and 7s. Not going to be good here, though.
Yeah. That said, the clubs get there. Mike may just call. Does look like he's reaching for raising chips, though.
You are correct.
And now Dante's got a decision to make. He has 2 pair. Really, he has 3 pair, which is sort of a dangerous thing here because he does lose to any king or any club. He is going to just call and going to get the bad news that the 5 was there.
Yep, Mike disguised it, checking the flop,
Look at that,
flat calling the turn.
Sam Dante and Doug right on that 15% Lottie line.
I know, I told Doug specifically he better keep it above the Lottie line because he's a notorious nit. Otherwise, I don't know if we can.
Gonna have to get into
Invite
a
him
knit off
back.
with him.
What's that?
I may have to get into a knit off with him
I
at some
know.
point.
Have you ever played with him?
I don't recall.
He's a nice guy. Fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone,
so
this is a fun table for sure.
it is.
It's too bad Chase had to go. He would have normally got some more chips on the table, but he
Had places to be,
yeah,
I'm sure.
he's a very busy man. Very, very busy.
Always keeping busy. We're always happy to have him here, though.
And his wife is expecting their first child very soon. Congratulations to both of them. And so he's on a short leash. All right, Austin's raising under the gun with ace-9 of spades.
Sam with the 8-7. Dante squeezing with what hands? Kings.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Oh,
Ace queen for Josh.
Josh just never
Just
folding
gonna
that.
call. Out of position, you could consider a 4-bet there. Would not have worked out in this case.
Oh, another
Doug's got 9s. He could consider.
middling pocket pair.
Does not does not have the correct odds to try and flop a set, not playing deep enough. That said, some players decide to splash in with those pairs. He doesn't know that one of those nines is busy already in Austin's hands. The downside with calling as well is it would be awful if you got 4-bet here.
True story. True story. Let's see what Sam decides to do.
Sam is going to let that go.
Pretty hand, but
We don't have any.
Until you get that action, and then the rest of your stack's going to have to go in on a flop.
yeah. Oh, just quads.
Quads for
Just
Dante.
quads.
He's got 4 kings, which is all of the kings.
Quads is one of those things, though. No one ever thinks you have it, so he might be able to get a little bit of money here.
Now
He bets
5s,
the
he's got quads
river.
full.
Yeah, he could maybe make a small bet, get paid by ace high. See what
Yeah.
happens.
Now, of course, he's going to fire river here. And ace queen is a candidate to call.
Yeah, he
He
bets.
does not call. He goes
Yeah,
600.
he bets
went
full
big.
pot. Yeah. He might have been able to get a little value there. I don't know. Josh may have sniffed it out. Hearts also got there on the end too, so maybe
Yeah.
that was a factor. Although Josh was holding at least one heart. I don't know if it was the ace of hearts or.
Yeah. 200. I think 200 probably calls.
Yeah.
Full pot's probably a bit much. So look in this live chat. See. I see.
Live 10 and a live 20 straddle. Live 10,
I see.
live 20.
Pocket ZHS. I don't know how to say that, but thanks for subscribing.
Getting more into barbecue every day, doing a lot of smoking.
Oh, I forgot to like it until just now.
Sorry if I missed any new subscribers. My sincere apologies. Trying to keep up with this chat and this action, which is some great action. And yes, be like super producer Carolyn, hit the like button. We got jacks for Sam. Looks like we had a $20 straddle.
Sam just limping here.
Limping with the jacks, setting the trap.
I think it's a trap. I mean, I think jacks are A-okay. They're A-okay in my book. I got nothing against jacks.
Absolutely.
But people notoriously hate them. So I see a lot of people just playing them very, very passively.
And you get vloggers, certain vloggers saying that there's no right way to play those.
Yeah, but the reality is that
Really looks like
they don't feel the
premium.
same way about tens or queens, and they're
It's a pretty
They're only
premium
so
holding.
different.
And the jacks are ahead on this flop.
yeah.
No overcard coming. Jared does have bottom pair. Not a lot else for the others. Just
Backdoor
backdoor.
draws. Real.
Sam gonna fire
Very-
the 50 out there.
Yeah.
Probably just gonna finish it here.
Jared might look. Oh yeah.
Unless he
Jared
calls.
called. Jared called, so he's gonna look him up.
Ace is probably gonna slow the action down.
Yeah.
Gonna check the Sam. He's in position saying, okay, let's just get to showdown, please. Jacks will be good if it gets to showdown.
Check.
Check. That ace slowed everything down.
Sam. I think Sam's hesitancy with the jacks. Jared probably could have stolen that one if he made a bet there on the turn. Because I think Sam is one of those people who just gets that sick feeling in his stomach when he sees those jiggities, those judies. He says, I'm just going to check it down.
Yeah, that's definitely something that some people will feel. And one way to approach that is to limp it. The other thing I'll see people do is they'll make bizarre raise sizes pre-flop. Like they'll just make it like 10x.
Yeah,
with
just
jacks
jam,
and
you know.
tens and ace king. And like those exact hands because
Jacks,
like,
you said jacks, tens, and ace?
jacks, tens, and ace kings in my experience, like that's where they tend to just make it like $50 over a $5 big blind because they really
Yes.
don't want to see a flop.
Yep, that makes sense.
They don't want to see the overcards or the bricks if you have the ace king.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with those strategies.
Yeah, you don't want to make it obvious that you have exactly a certain hand.
Right.
then it's really easy to play against you.
Yep.
Raise 35.
I think people do the same with kings a lot of the time too. They don't want to see a flop.
Yeah,
They.
don't want to see these. They're ace magnets.
I mean, really though, if you're gonna do it with kings, just or jacks or tens or ace king. Why are you playing, man? Like, just fold them pre-flop. If you don't want to see a flop or get any value, you just want to steal the blinds, then yeah, what's
If you're going to play this game, you're going to get outdrawn sometimes.
my aces got cracked by 10-9 last night.
And I ran kings into aces for piles the night before, and you saw it.
I did also run aces into kings on the good side of that one yesterday at one point. So
King
You know.
ain't going to see bet.
you win some, you lose some.
Looks like we got Faker in the 4 seat now. Gonna just call with his backdoor hearts and his gut shot. Heart draw does come in now. Picks up a bunch of equity. See if Mike fires again. Just holding the king high right now.
King high is the best hand. However, let's see what happens here.
Plenty of equity for Faker.
King is not an out that he wants to see, though. King comes, he's not.
Probably going
playing
to
this
cost him
hand.
some money.
Yeah.
8 of hearts. Faker is going to get there with the backdoor hearts.
Yep.
And it looks like he's going to lead. And Mike's going to just say, okay, you win.
Can't imagine he calls here.
That would be extremely ambitious.
He doesn't have enough behind to get him off a hand ever. So,
Loses to any ransom heart, any ransom pair. He is going to let that go.
yeah, Faker was deeper. Mike could think about turning that into a bluff. I don't think it's a good choice, but if he felt so inclined. But with $200 behind,
Yeah, you're
Probably
never
not
folding. And certainly the jack's probably never folding anyway for, I think that was second nuts there. I forget
Yeah,
whether Queen,
eight-
yeah, second
yeah.
nuts.
ace and queen were on the board.
Yeah.
King of hearts was the only heart that beat him. I mean, it is a paired board. There's some other things. Other ways he could lose that, but jack of hearts was the second nut flush. All right, this is going to be my last hand before I got to get back out there and throw some cards at people. See if anything exciting happens. Got Mike limping with the 8-6 offsuit. I saw another 8-6 offsuit make its way to the muck not long ago. Austin making a raise with Queen 9 of diamonds. Jared got out of the way. Alessandro got out of the way, and Mike's gonna choose wisely and also fold. All right, thanks for having me back here. That was fun.
Great having you back here.
Yeah, good job, Lottie. Good job,
Thank
Seth.
you.
Everybody's crushing it. All right, guys, have fun.
All right. So we'll continue on here. Hunain Yacob, thank you for subscribing. Apologies if I butcher people's names.
I swear that's how it is here though. When like if someone who walks through, like you can like if you watch the table as they walk through.
All right. So on to the next hands.
Raise 20. Fold.
Baker's got the queen 10 suited. Gonna open. Alessandro gonna defend with the ace, or he's gonna raise with the ace rather.
Call. Heads up.
And Faker gonna call, gonna take the flop in position on Alessandro.
You bet anyone overseas?
6 of clubs.
Not sure what the flop is. Alessandro has put out a bet.
Bet. 125.
Jack 9-6, so open-ender for Faker. And backdoor clubs. Alessandro with a hole out of nothing. And Faker gonna call. See if Alessandro decides to fire again on a turn of 8 of spades, of course. Faker getting there with the nuts straight.
It's like 4 aces, dude.
Now hoping that Alessandro bets. He does not. He checks. So Faker now going to put out the bet. And that should shut things down here.
Every other sport they don't do that. Lakers is ridiculous right now. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. But they're all adult. Doesn't matter.
Tony Hwang, thanks for subscribing.
One injury.
If Brooklyn is healthy,
And yes, this is me, William Lottie, a.k.a. the New York Knit,
Kyrie is
a.k.a. the Long Island Flag,
Durant just proved
with
that
you this
he's-
evening on TCH Live as we play a little 2-5 no limit hold'em.
I'm talking about in USA.
620. They won this hand.
You call that winning? You really consider it winning?
That was like the B team. Like,
Yeah,
he
that's
had like,
powerful.
it's like he's an A player, but him and Dame Lillard are basically the only two out there that were like real prime.
I agree to that.
You put a real USA team
All right, little bit of a pause here.
because they don't want to play. That's
Stupid. And then leave it up to college.
All right.
More so about the Knicks.
Yeah, I won't hate on
Raise 15.
I'd say opening up at ace-6 offsuit, the worst of the aces, given that your kicker can't make a straight with the ace.
Literally what we do all the time. We get hurt players. We had 2 freshmen, right? Fournier and Nicolita still on the team, right? No Nikita, whatever.
Faker coming along, Mike coming along with some suited stuff. Austin with the queen 10 offsuit. Why not? Alessandro gonna squeeze again with the 10-8 offsuit. I'm not sure that 50 number is right. That is a really tiny 3-bet. Oh, it is $50. The problem with that size is you're gonna have a very hard time getting folds. A bigger size probably clears this out.
It's one of those like championships in the like Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce era.
Yeah, that was like a gift from Kevin McHale.
And it clears nobody out instead because once you get that one call, everyone's going to have odds to continue. They're all going to feel priced in. Just think Austin's putting 35 into a pot that's going to be 300. King 5-4. Mike's going to flop a pair.
I like Charlotte. Play it.
Nobody else holding a whole lot.
So with their team, really, I feel like
He's not really offensive. He's kind of like distributed. Check. So check.
It's going to check through here.
team that plays a similar role. Like, it'll be like
And now the ace gives Dante top pair.
He's gonna start. There's no doubt about it.
Nobody with a draw, except Sam. Sam does have a gut shot to the 10. Little does he know that most of those 10s are accounted for.
I'm a fan of Tatum, too. He's a baller, yeah.
Checks through. Austin also has the
Between him
gut
and,
shot. 8 of spades, river. Dante's ace will be good if it gets the showdown.
they play similar. Devin Booker.
And check. Showdown.
Got 5. Oh,
There it is.
that was so exciting.
And checks through. Dante picks one up.
Yeah, so they both. I think they both trained with Kobe a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
I know Booker.
only thing with Tatum is longer. You can't teach size.
Can't teach that. Yeah. My son was good.
Booker's a
People taking note of my accent. I am from Long Island. I am originally from Stony Brook, New York. I've been down here almost 5 years now. I've lived in a few places.
against Carmelo's.
I'm in the Austin area these days and enjoying it for sure.
No, he still goes over. No, Carmelo.
What else did I know? I was moving into what's become one of the hottest poker scenes anywhere in the country down here in Texas. So much action anywhere you look, including TCH Austin, Houston, Dallas, and Rio Grande Valley. It's the only one I haven't been to yet. I've been to the others.
New York is they're all top eight.
Great
That's
rooms,
the problem.
great action.
That's why, and I know he's not going to go anywhere.
Hopefully you join us there sometime if you haven't already.
He gets into college, that's a win, you know.
Ace queen for Faker.
He gets into high school.
Gonna limp.
Like, no.
Gonna limp the ace queen.
Like playing ball. I'd be very happy.
What if you have two sons?
Mike with the king queen. Gonna limp in.
Ray, 75.
I believe you. See, I don't remember this.
Ace jack for Austin. We got a lot of big cards coming here.
What if they both go to NFL?
Makes it 75. Nice big raise. Sam's got the eights. No spade though. I'm not sure where that falls in the pecking order. He is gonna call, try and hit a set.
Take out the money.
Josh gonna fold his straddle. Now Faker gonna put in that limp re-raise, making it 300 with the ace queen. I could just shut this down now.
Interested. We did that.
Austin's considering. He's thinking, like, have I ever just not stepped in it here?
I do that on the street. I do like.
And I believe that's a call. That is a call. See what Sam does. He's going to let that go, thinking that he's way behind. This is like the exact best case scenario for that hand, where you just have a couple of big aces, but so often there's a bigger pair somewhere. Now, Faker has Austin pipped. Looks like he's going to check flat. Jack 10-5, so Austin is going to outflop him. Faker does have the gut shot and
Set
the
up on live stream.
over that's live. Looking for a king or a queen. And now Austin going to bet the full 500. Faker wondering if he's ever good. I believe Faker called there. Six of spades on the turn. Puts up a draw that neither player has. Austin now going to just go ahead and put the rest of his money in. About 500 into a pot that's like 2,000 now. Faker feels priced in. He is dominated. Needs a king or a queen. Austin going to be delighted to see that he's good. Looks like they're running it twice, I think. 6 pairs on the first river. 8 of spades on the second river. So, ace jack, gonna scoop. Faker gonna show the ace queen.
That Jack 9.
So another big one. Let's see. Squirrel in the chat wondering when and how I got into poker. I got into poker probably around 2015-ish, I would say. I was living in Seattle. There was, as I was working up there, there was a little 10-20 cent game that some people at work were running. I jumped in, and I figured some things out, and I decided, you know what, this is a really interesting game. Like, I'd always known of poker. It had always seemed interesting, but for whatever reason, I just never dove in. Like, even during the poker boom, I never got around to giving it a try. And so I did, and then I liked it. I found my way into a card room up in the Seattle area not long before I moved out. Fired some random tournament, little Sunday tournament, cashed it. Like, you know what, I should learn how to play this game. And then I study, and then I find my way into more card rooms, and moved down here, become a member of Texas Card House, and really cut my teeth here. And I've sort of progressed up, like the little tournaments, the 1-2, now the 2-5, some bigger tournaments, and always trying to get better. And it's fun stuff. I've gotten to meet a lot of great people I would not have otherwise met. And here I am now sitting in a commentary booth. I never thought this would happen when I first started playing those years ago.
Players checks on live stream.
A little bit of a hold here. If you have other questions in the chat, feel free to ask. Be sure and hit that like button. I see over 300 of you watching.
Play this hand.
Only 79 likes so far. Let's get some more likes. Let's hit that like goal.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't care. I start. I have the weekend off. My wife's been out of town. Oh wait, I'm retired. Michigan. I have every day off.
Would you retire from?
Microsoft.
What division?
I was in sales, worldwide selling team. Hold on a second.
Oh, blind versus blind action here. I think they've agreed to chop the blinds. So Jared and Mike, the big winners so far. Alessandro and Faker stuck right now of the players who are still in the game. We'd seen Chase earlier who had gotten a little bit unfortunate and then had to go do other things.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea. Yeah, all the straight up.
He's like very good.
Oh yeah.
Checks the live stream.
Those are like not
All right. Mike with the Jack 7. Kind of fold that.
Can I get a player's checks over here on C4?
Sometimes you make it good, sometimes you make it shit.
Fold.
Those are shit.
Raise. 20. Fold.
Alessandro going to make the raise. Dante defending button with his ace. Josh queen 9 suited.
It's three players.
Jack 8-3. Jack's up for Alessandro. Gut shot for Josh. Not much for Dante.
30.
Alessandro going to put out that bet.
Call. Heads up.
Josh going to call this over and his cut shot. Turns a 4 of diamonds. Might slow things down. Diamonds coming in. Neither player with a diamond. Check, check. King River. Alessandro going to be good.
Bet 100.
He's going to fire and get the quick fold from Josh.
I was afraid you hit it. Yeah, like this. This is straight right out of play.
All right, people want me to gamble some points. Let's give them a little gamble here. Gamble 10.
All around it.
I am in net. I'm going to bet the minimum as they're bringing in a new deck here. Spreading that like a chip. Man, I rolled a 5. Bad beat. While we got more time, let's see. Albanian Marty. Who's my favorite pro poker player? Oh, that's a good question. I suppose I should say a Long Islander, right? Favorite pro. How active do they have to have been recently? Because like I'll say probably Jason Somerville is probably one of my favorites, fellow Long Islander. Who else from Long Island? Bring Kenny. He's a crusher. Except I've never met Kenny. I've met Somerville. Great guy. He would go with some cards. Another favorite, probably Jonathan Whittle. His training content's great. It's taught me a lot.
Flopping quads. Oh, horrible.
Well, outside of
Nothing
that,
said.
I have
Fold.
one other.
Call. Fold.
Let's see, 6-4 suited, Jack 9 suited. queens for Faker. King 9 suited for Mike. See if yeah, he's going to call too. Hey, if it's suited, stick some chips in. That seems to be the spirit tonight. Everybody calling Faker. This is just how he drew it up. Out of position against 3 players. Jack 9-7. Mildly concerning board. Sam with the jacks up. Faker gonna bet. Mike's got middle pair plus back doors. Why not call? Now let's see what Sam does. Sam's probably best, but certainly vulnerable to random gut shots. He's gonna jam the 800. That seems like a fine move. And Faker's probably gonna call here.
Some guy. He used Vegas, I guess.
And Baker's probably just thinking here, what did I run into? These guys really have 10-8 or a set.
No, they have, I don't know. I know they have three, they have their big game.
He's gonna grumble, like he's probably thinking he's got a call. Especially the way this game's playing, those queens could be good. I think he's gonna be very hard pressed to find a fold here.
I was on live at the play, so.
He's thinking about this. And he calls. Now Mike's gonna have to get out of the way with this King 9, I would imagine. He just has middle pair, backdoor draws. Like there's no planet where he's not crushed, and he is going to make the fold. Looks like they're counting out Faker's all in so that they can get this pot right.
Players are running it twice. Players are running it
And Faker's like, yep, you got 2 pair. See if Faker can find a queen or a 7 or a king. He does not, at least on this board. They're going to run it again. And breaks out a second time. So Sam is going to stack Faker with the 2 pair.
You may have looked, I'm sure.
You didn't need it though. You just needed it to run clean. Like no step.
Player checks live stream. C4.
All right. Looks like Faker is going to reload here.
All right.
We've all been there.
I had the amazing 5 feet.
C4 is 500 behind. Thank you very much.
All right. So
That's the help.
see how we follow up that hand.
It's like, Under Armour made one of those V-neck shirts. You had to go. See some outlet.
Live 10. $10 straddle this hand.
I actually saw him beat up a homeless dude outside and take that shirt from him before he came in. So.
Raise 30.
Alessandro with that 9-5. Heard that hand called the Dolly Parton. Josh going to put in the re-raise with the superior 9, the ace 9.
favorite move.
Fold. 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 Fold.
Probably just going to get this through here.
And so at the very end, he bluffed and I called, and I went ahead and just hit the dealer before he threw his hand card.
But Alessandro calls, so I mean that's what I get for trying to protect Alessandro.
With the hand? I did with the hand. He just blocked. He was blocking. It's actually. He rolled it. It's always good.
Still don't see the flop on my end. Ace 8-3 all diamonds. Josh top pair and diamonds gonna get his bet through. He is gonna say, "Hey, look, I have pretty much the whole world here."
I've only done that once, just because
Did the other player flip their card?
no, he slid it over, but he had 8-4.
All right.
I just had second pair.
So, looks like we got 53 players playing right now here at TCH Austin.
He was pretty easy to beat, but everyone,
3-1-2s, and then a couple of PLO free roll tournament tables.
yeah,
Then the TCH Live that you're seeing right now. Come on down here and join us.
I still remember that. Hard to put me on a head. 10-4 spade. 6 months.
340 of you watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, please. Pocket tens for Alessandro. Now he's got it, and he's going to raise.
Live 10, raise 25.
Going to make it. That can't be 20. It's got to be more. It is 25. That is more than 20.
Fold. Fold. Fold.
Josh coming along with the king 10. King 3 is going to call. Going to go to this flop 3 ways.
Gotta drink more beer.
Ace Jack 4. Alessandro still ahead, but probably not all that confident right now. Check, check over to Faker. Gonna check it. Queen turn brings in the open enter for Josh. Or rather, he makes the nuts. What am I saying? Josh actually made the nuts straight since Ace, King, Queen, Jack 10 is a straight. And he is gonna bet here. Probably not gonna get any action. Alessandro sitting with just 4th pair and a gut shot. But he is going to call.
Heads up.
Ace pairs on the river.
Bet 125.
Josh going to put in the bet. Alessandro sitting with just aces and tens. Maybe he's wondering if Josh has perhaps just a missed club draw. It's about all he's beating here. It is kind of a bummer for him that he is actually blocking the straight that Josh has. You need a 10. He's got 2 of them.
Taking $50 a hand.
Call. Showdown.
And Alessandro's going to make the call and get the bad news that Josh does, in fact, have straight. So we look at our VPIPs. Josh is playing a ton of hands. Faker's playing a ton of hands. Mike, Alessandro, Austin, all pretty active.
Nothing in New York.
Doug sitting below that Waddy line.
Live 10, $10 shot of the sand.
Yeah, 100%. I went to, they shut it down already. We went too long.
Hello, Josue Gomez. Thank you for subscribing. Sorry if I made a mistake with your name there.
Not the best.
People mess up my name all the time. They see Waddy and they just start like adding letters that aren't there. So weird. But I guess Finnish is a weird language. Ace 5 for Josh.
Raise 40. Fold.
Ace king for Austin. See how he plays this premium. Reaching for some black chips.
Raise 205.
Gonna put in a nice little 3-bet there to 205. Alessandro with some ducks. Pocket deuces, deciding whether to continue. He does not. Now Josh gonna fold the ace-5. See if Mike elects to continue with his dominated king. Does have position, but he does have a hard time being ahead of reasonable 3-bet range. And he lets it go. Austin gonna take that pot down.
Thank you very much. That means I had you.
I'd be really surprised if
Austin adding to that massive stack up to $2,800 now.
I had a fun one. I had ace-5 hearts.
that's a fun one.
Nice thing about these matchless stack games, they do escalate.
Well, the
You
hunter
get
club
one big pot, and then you usually get a bunch of players adding on. So, like, in Texas, in general, whatever the blinds are, games usually going to play bigger than that. Because you do have these matchless stack games, and it's even with the 1-2 where it's always capped at 300. You do have the fact that we do not take rake. So money stays on the table. Lets the game stay big.
And it crashed back down, basically 30. I just sat on it. I'm like, that's free money to me, I guess. Now it's come back. Right?
Baker limping the 9-7.
Raise 25.
Mike raising that ace-4.
Fold. Call, call. Fold.
9 comes along, 3s come along. Let's have another 4-way flop. Yeah, Texas, we call this heads up. King, 10, 8. We got some action here. We got top pair for Austin. We got the open enter for Faker. And we got Mike deciding to bet with his ace and his backdoor diamonds. Top pair not going anywhere. Straight draw not going anywhere. Deuce on the turn. Doesn't change anything here. Now Mike gonna check, it's gonna check through. River is a 7. So Austin's king 9 gonna hold up. 9-7 does now river 4th pair. Not the way Faker was looking to get there. It is going to check through. And the king 9 will take it down for Austin. Have a look here at who's doing this raising pre-flop. Alessandro, Faker, the main provocateurs tonight of these big pots. Why we're wondering how does the profit thing work. You leave the table with your profit. You want to come back and play some more. You go to the back of the queue. So if you get up from your seat, if you relinquish your seat in the game, then you'd have to get on a wait list for some other game, if that's what you want to do, or if you want to come back later. There's a rule, I forget whether it's 1 hour or 2 hours, you'd have to come back with whatever you bought in for. So you can't just go south. Complete rules at texascardhouse.com for our clubs.
Raise 25.
And that's how you'll find out what those rules are, or ask a for. Faker raising the queen 7 suited.
Fold, fold. 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 3 players.
Get a couple of takers here. King 9-5. Top pair for Jared.
So you go to the office these days?
Heads up.
Jared betting that top pair. Alessandro gonna come along with the Jack 8. Try and hit his back doors. The 5 pairs, and it is a spade, and so Alessandro now has the spade draw.
Bet 125.
Yeah, yeah.
Jared gonna bet it. Alessandro now gonna fold. Jared showing that king.
You're at home every day. Crazy.
Yeah.
Work every day.
Yeah,
Did
probably moved here.
you do a double time?
And if you're someone who likes cruises, we do have the Texas Card House Poker Cruise coming up in March of 2022. Go to texascardhouse.com and see the details on that cruise, sailing out of Galveston, and how to get on that.
Businesses are gonna lose out on like good talent because
It just cuts so much fun and you get to do other things with it, right? Well, I sit an hour on the computer every day.
We got another straddle on.
Raise 35.
Alessandro with king 9, gonna make it 35.
but like for the most part, work from home is better.
Dante and Josh both calling with inferior kings.
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
Jack 8, 5. So the king 9's still ahead.
But if they're like young, hip people,
Check. I check in the Navy, like, I'm like, these fuckers are so stupid leadership that I go with my
Checks through. Queen's gonna give Alessandro the gut shot to go with his superior king high. He is gonna go ahead and put in the bet. Should end this now. 60-hour bet. Little over half pot.
fueling the greed of corporate America by fucking
And gets it through.
Thank you very much.
I had a nice drawing in.
Government contract, construction, government contracts or construction. Do jobs up north. I have a buddy,
So, yeah, somebody pointing out in the chat, the dealer taking care of these cards. These RFID cards aren't cheap and they are fragile. They got the chip in them that lets the scanner read the card. Those are broken easily, and so we want to not break these cards. Plus, we want nothing but mystery hands.
I would love for the floor to say whose chips are less visible. This would be great to read.
Well, yours are hiding behind your tip.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't see him either. So, floor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Can you call it floor?
Yeah, sure. Can I get the floor on the live stream?
Not much yet. Jared ace 10 suited.
Raise 30.
Certainly raisable. Making it 30. Scanner says Sam has 9-2 suited. He's thinking about something. Saying something. So I can't hear the table audio, so you guys know better than me.
Yeah, yeah. Those are so bad, like when you're told. Yeah. Sometimes you end up in a game like good, you hit someone to the and then like the only team that's open is one. Yeah. Okay, that was
He's gonna fold now.
probably took like 5 years off.
Santi with the 8 deuce folding. Josh with the 9 deuce folding.
Deuce 9 off.
Jared gets up some blinds.
Yeah. Let's raise it out out of position. Why not?
Last time I showed. That's a lie.
Unless you double up.
It's also a lie anyway. It doesn't matter. I just want to tell you this way.
So here in Austin, every Tuesday this summer is Member Appreciation Day. 50% off your hourly fees. Pretty sweet deal. Saves you $6 an hour. All summer long, every Tuesday. And here we go. Alessandro, 7-4. Let's raise it.
That's the motto. When you sell in baseball, you need to hit rock fucking bottom. Yeah. Like, that's what the White Sox did like 5 years ago.
Josh defending small blind with King 4. Baker King Queen calls, and now Mike has Ace Jack suited, gonna squeeze, and Alessandro's gonna shove the 7-4. Yeah,
But they still good.
very ambitious shove. I don't see Mike folding here. Even if we're not facing a particularly aggressive opponent, you do have pretty good pot odds to call off here.
Basketball is just about getting a guy. It's just talent driven league, but it's a little bit more wide open now.
And he does call.
Especially after like Phoenix, Milwaukee, like not good for a
A lot of injuries. A lot of injuries to get there, but yeah, they're still with good teams, but it's wide open.
King, Jack 10, middle pair for the ace, 7 pairs up on the turn. Jack on the river. 3 jacks for Mike is going to beat the pair of 7s for Alessandro.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Alessandro, definitely an aggressive player. Definitely likes to put you to the test. Probably not quite deep enough there to get folds. Looks like he is reloading.
We have a live $10 Strauss.
356 of you are watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. Over 100 of you hitting like now.
After a quarterback, you can't.
I can make that throw.
48% is failing.
Come on, dude. I love the ones from Cameron.
Raise 35.
I like him.
So the button, Queen 3 suited, gonna open it up.
This guy, he just,
Faber coming along with the better queen. Mike with the 9-6 offsuit. And defend big blinds. Doug's got aces in the straddle. It must be nice to get aces in the straddle. See how big he goes here. And Mitt Jane, thanks for subscribing.
Thank you very much. We have a raise 250.
Looks like 250 for Doug. Probably going to end this right now. And Ace is going to take it down.
Watch him before that. 10 minutes away? 15.
I think
All right, everyone. Thank you for your time. You have Ryan coming in. Good luck, everyone.
If you're the type who likes to play poker bright and early in the morning, every day here at TCH Austin from 10 a.m. to noon, it is free play. Well, early bird special. Wish I could take advantage of that one, but On weekends, I'm just waking up, and weekdays, I'm working my day job. So, you know, maybe someday I'll get to play poker bright and early. Not quite there yet.
Okay, how much is it? 500? Okay. C4 is adding on 500.
TCH Live account has this right in the chat. More likes equals more
Player
like.
checks, live stream.
Please stick me in this booth, guys. Keep hitting like. You get to keep hearing me.
Now it's after
I mean,
Saturday.
they also have beer.
He left, it was 30. I was playing 1-2. He lost everything.
And we got a dealer change happening. Looks like Ryan in the box now. Gonna have another $10 PLO bomb pot. Looks like Faker has reloaded.
If it's a awesome,
He'll get his chips over here in just a moment.
I could give 3. I got a promo.
there's so much experience in it, too. The skill of the game is pretty fun. Everyone's going to call $10.
Candyman Ben, I'm from Stony Brook, New York.
I go play 1-2.
Wondering where I'm from on Long Island.
300 backspires.
Like, yep, you got the right number of cards. Yep, yep.
It's like uncapped.
Sometimes these cards will stick together, and you'd hate to have a misdeal. Ten, 6, 5, flop, rainbow flop. Now we get to see who has what. Let's get these cards scanned. Looks like a bunch of checks.
Were you playing that day when he was doing that?
Looks like Alessandro's bet $5, and people are calling. Where I think holding up right now just to get these cards scanned. These cards can be finicky. Now we get more players calling $5.
And that's an easy way to do it.
You'd have to have just like absolutely nothing to fold at this price.
Everyone called the $5 bet.
Everyone is in?
Seems reasonable enough.
Got a whole lot of mystery hands right now. Ace 4, 4 deuce for Dante, so he does have the hind ends of the cut shot there. Let's see. Open ender for Mike and a pair. King on the turn gives kings up for Josh. Faker's got a wrap.
First section is check. 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 Hang on. He hasn't activated. Oh, he did? Okay. Check. And
Doug with the low end of the straight draw there. Now Alessandro betting $10. These tiny, tiny little bets.
both of you guys rescan your cards.
Apparently you got good cards.
No, they want to.
Sam has aces that are toast.
Double barrel and strategic players?
You're good. You still not good.
Top 2 sets.
And Sam is going to let go of those aces. Dante did pick up clubs that are not going to be good. Josh with the best club draw. Dante feeling priced in though. Maybe he could hit a 3 for a straight. That would actually not be good either.
125 pounds.
I think Dante's drawing to a 4 for a set. Which, no, 7-6. Never mind. Now Josh is going to go ahead and raise 125. He's got the 2 pair, he's got the kings and 5s, and he's got the club draw.
No.
Mike now going to let go of his open ender. Jared with the queen jack 10-7. He does have the open ender to Broadway. Gonna let that go. Not sure if a club would be good, so not even all those clean outs. Alessandro sticking around though. Queen 9-8, giving him a bunch of straight outs. And Dante gonna make that call.
3 players to the river.
King pairs on the end. King's full of fives for Josh. All the draws miss.
Sure.
King 10.
No, 5.
Josh taking that down.
I think King's 5 and King 6.
Max wondering if I play poker for a living. I don't play poker for a living. I'm a software engineer for a living. Not sure I'd ever want to play poker for a living. I certainly love to be good enough at poker that I could consider that, just because I'm kind of a competitive person. And so I play a game like poker. I want to win. And in this game, when you win, you get money. Sam opening that King 9 suited. Looks like a repace from the Queen Jack of Josh. Basically a min raise. Sam not going anywhere.
Thanks, sir.
10-8-4. So Josh with the gut shot. 10 pairs. Sam picks up the diamonds now. King high still ahead. Josh gonna bet, or Sam gonna bet. Josh gonna call. Sam rivers the diamonds. Sam's gonna be good, but he's not gonna get any money for his trouble.
I feel like we need to start drinking if we're going to start.
I think the players are better nowadays than they were back then too. They're more athletic, they shoot better. Jordan would score in the 30s in this league for sure, but I think Kobe Bryant is basically Jordan 2.0. So I mean,
Ragnar over by. How do you get points? You get points by watching the show. Every 10 minutes you're watched and logged in and subscribed, you get a point. But you got to be subscribed and logged in.
that's different, but that's not bad.
If you contribute to the chat, I think that's another point every 10 minutes, I think.
only had the one flush back then, too. Yeah.
Who's better than him back then? It's not about being better. His IQ, basketball IQ is great. He's like
Alessandro
6'8",
opening the ace-8 suited.
down, like a 6'8" when it comes to physicality.
Little $10 raise.
And nobody was that big.
Sam calls, Faker calls. Mike calls, why not? 6'5" offsuit, get in there.
No, Magic Johnson. Who played every position and won a ring with every position.
Austin, like, for real? Min raise? I guess.
It's like, yeah.
5 players.
I like doing it like
Elijah won. David Robinson.
10-3 queen, all spades.
don't do that no more.
Austin flopping the king high spade draw.
The most unclear.
Sam with the top pair.
Teams going droughts, they don't have that center to dump it into to get that easy bucket.
Not much else for anybody.
They do.
Like every big is now like a stretch. They'll have a 3-point shot or they sit at the
Mike probably not feeling that great about his spade draw, but he is going to stick around. Austin just going to call here, probably the best move. If you raise, you only get action from hands that are beating you. Now the 6 gives Mike a pair on the turn.
No matter what the score is, I hit 3 threes in a row. I just scored 9. I'm back in the game, like, or I'm up fucking 9.
like in the 90s or 2000s, like no one was sure like 5 feet behind the 3-point line. Like now people do it regularly because they're so good at it.
7 on the river. Sam's queen, pair of queens, going to be best.
Look at Russell Westbrook. There's no guy he did on the court in the 90s. Oh my God, yeah, he's so fast.
Sam, that's 125.
I think granted he's like too egotistical and a ball hog.
Mike's sitting with just fourth pair and no kicker to speak of.
Yeah, when your team is like,
Gonna be hard pressed to find the call.
I don't like this game that much, but he's a good player.
he went to the right system too. Because LeBron and Andy did look
Yeah.
fucking shit. Exactly. Yeah, kind of fucking shoot fucking
Not by
bitch
yourself.
if he starts getting selfish.
I just want to see AD and Westbrook pick and roll.
Mike. He just wants to get healthy.
Not pick and roll. How? Where like you get LeBron somewhere, and LeBron weak side, you kick it to LeBron. Like,
Mike's cutting out some chips. Might he try and turn this into a bluff?
yeah, put it on the floor. That's ridiculous.
He does call, and
Like health and management.
Sam shows the pair of queens.
You gotta just like basically not play with
We're talking about Larry.
See people trying to anoint me engineer announcer guy.
What's the comparison to who?
Kind of a clumsy name.
Bird on the compared to LeBron.
But hey, you know, like whatever the community decides, that's what I'll probably end up being. Maybe we find something a little smoother.
Get hammered during the game. Playing his Converse.
Continuing on here, William Lottie, aka the New York Knit, with you on TCH Live. Junior producer Seth pressing the buttons.
Oh, I can't wait to see the Menace in the Palace. That came out.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching that. I was watching the game as a kid. I was like, holy shit, what's going on here? Yeah, so that was sick.
Raise 15.
Dante raising up to 7-4 in the +2. Josh coming along, Faker coming along.
Raise 65.
Mike now gonna put in the raise with the Queen Jack.
I make this bet like the most straight. Actually, like
Call.
And Dante gonna hang around.
It did make it look better. It did. It did on purpose. I was like, that looks cool. I mean, leave it like that.
And to the flop we go.
I'll take one.
Queen 8-7. So something for everyone here. Dante's got bottom pair, backdoor diamonds. Faker with the open-ended straight draw. Mike with top pair. Reasonable kicker. Gonna make it 75.
You're like a strong bulky dude. You probably may have like 45 of those against.
Dante hanging around. Faker hanging around. We suddenly got over $500 in this pot. King on the turn. Mike downgraded to second pair now. Check through. Ace on the river. Mike has the best hands if it gets the showdown. Checks through. Mike gonna take it down.
That's like my executive. He's fucking like in his 70s, dude. He has like the jet black hair. It's like, you're definitely not in that shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess if you're like single, maybe it gets you paid a little bit.
So you might notice some of these Pokemon on the table that some of these players will have, especially our more frequent players. It's a little game we have around here where if you have a Pokemon and you stack somebody with a Pokemon, you get their Pokemon. Or I think if it's a $5,000 pot, I forget what the minimum is outside of stacking. But you get their Pokemon. It's just a little pride thing. It's like a little trophy.
I got married too. I mean, I'm still married. We're still not happy.
Dante making it 15 with the ace-9.
Joke the whole cheaper to keep it. It's fucking real, man. That's New York is the worst state, obviously, as you know. New York, Chicago, and LA. But it's fucking ridiculous. Half your shit, no questions asked. 15.
Austin raising it up with the King 10 of spades. Mark Jones, thanks for subscribing.
She ain't watching. She doesn't even know what's going on. She doesn't know. I send her the link. She's like, I don't fucking know what's going on. It's not live now.
You can go on YouTube and watch it. It's delayed like 15 minutes.
Ace, ace 6, something for everyone. Again, Austin with the spade draw, and Dante with trips.
On YouTube now, they'll just stay up there forever. And then they'll do like breakouts and like big
Bet
hands
25.
and stuff from time to time.
Austin putting out a little bet. See how Dante plays this. Raising and calling both viable here. Dante gonna call. 7 on the turn, changes nothing.
It was like literally the second hand.
Oh yeah.
Bet 100.
I was told to do up to 1,000.
Now Austin goes for about 2/3 pot, $100. Dante just gonna call, let him fire away. Queen of spades, Austin's gonna get there on the river. Dante checking it over, see how big Austin goes here with his value. Value bet. Austin looking at his cards again. Do I really have spades? Yeah, I got spades.
Bet 350.
And looks like 350 from Austin, full pot.
Barely, especially in Foxwoods. So why is it certain?
Dante making the fold. Making stupid spade. Look at our VPIPs, Doug, sitting 9% below the Lottie line. Hopefully we can get him some cards he can get into this game.
I hit the flush.
Everyone else pretty active.
Small blind and big blind.
Which is like every poker club in the world. Small.
And here we go with another hand. Josh has an ace he's going to raise. I coming along with some pocket nines.
Yeah, you see yesterday. It's gonna go. Could not do it.
We started 6.5 and it's
3 players.
King, king, deuce, flop. Nine's still the best hand.
25.
Josh gonna fire out the C-bet.
Call. Heads up.
Mike, not a believer yet. Sticking around with the nines. Jack on the turn. Nine's still the best hand.
Check.
Check, check now. 10 of spades, another overcard for Mike, but still the best hand. But Josh not going to fire at it. Not going to show the nines. As we get to the halfway point here on TCH Live, just recently announced Dallas holding $1 million guaranteed tournament. Biggest guarantee we've had yet at TCH. September 15th through the 19th, day ones. The 15th through the 18th, 2 day ones each day. $900 buy-in. Day 2, Sunday, September 19th. It'll be huge. TexasCardHouse.com for complete details on that tournament.
Yes.
Folds to Austin, opens up his queen jack. Alessandro defending button with 7-3.
40 for bet. Fold.
King 9 coming along. That's actually the best hands right now out of the $10 straddle. Ace Jack 7 flop gives Austin middle pair, Alessandro bottom pair. Austin firing out. Alessandro gonna let go of that pair of 7s. Josh gonna release the King 9. Squire, we're wondering the capacity for TCH Dallas. A lot. I don't know exactly how many tables they have. It's got to be at least 25, I'd say.
2 adding on 300.
At least twice as big as the location here in Austin.
Full on big blind, please.
Very nice facility they have up there. I've been up there a few times.
10.
Even got to play on their stream last month. That was a fun time. We had Greg Potter from the Dallas stream down here on our stream last night. Definitely worth watching in the archives.
Raise 25 an ounce.
Alessandro, I think, looking for some change here as he opens up his Queen 8. The suited variety. Just getting a call from Faker on the straddle. King 9, Faker's got trips. Alessandro doesn't have a whole lot. He attempted to bet. He put out a couple of white chips. Looks like it was a bet of 25. Maybe they stuck together. Gets the call from the trips. He does pick up a combo draw on this turn here, the 10 of spades. One of the better turns for Alessandro, giving him the gut shot and the spade draw. Gonna bet the 50, see if Faker decides to press the raise button here. Does just call. Jack River is gonna give Alessandro the straight.
Bet 250.
And now, I believe Faker put out a bet there. Faker bets 250, and Alessandro is thinking, what's going on here? And he folds? Alessandro folded the straight? That is astonishing. I'm wondering if there was some kind of misread there. Either a misread on Alessandro's part or more likely a misread on the scanner's part. Sticking around to fold the river straight is pretty surprising. There's not a lot you're losing to there. You're losing to a full house. But we continue on.
Raise 25. Call.
Dante opens his button. Not holding so much. 5-4. You can probably let that go from the button. This hand just is not going to flop that great. Queen 10 deuce. Faker's 8-3. Has the club draw. Josh has middle pair. 4 deuce has bottom pair. For Mike, he's going to fold. Dante going to fold with just the back door. Jack 10 versus ace 8-3. Who you got? 6 on the turn. Josh still ahead. Faker just looking for a club. Does not get the club. Jack 10. Gonna river the straight. He's got the nuts. He's going to make it 75. What a less than half pot with the nuts there. So, see some discussion in the chat here about the fold Alessandro just made on that river. That was kind of an ugly board. Yes, I'd agree there. But at the same time, if you're gonna get there, like if you're gonna call turn, you're gonna be pretty hard pressed to justify folding river, I think, when you get there on that river. Unless he was looking for like a baby spade, maybe. The decision point's really on the turn there. Sam's got kings. He's going to make a decision to raise with the kings. Josh calling, Faker calling with this pair. Going to try and outflop these kings. But Sam's going to flop top set here. Not a worry in the world. He's going to check it through. Deuce on the turn. Not going to change anything. Sevens are drawing dead now. Josh does have a gut shot. He can hit a queen. He's going to bet here. And Sam is going to go ahead and put in the raise. And now Josh is going to probably just say, just kidding. Josh is going to let go of the 10 high. Sam stop second and pick up some chips. I see Nick from Yuma offering me Met updates in the chat. Thanks for that, Nick. Those of you who don't know, I'm a big New York Met fan. They got a big couple weeks ahead of them, playing LA, playing San Francisco. A couple of very tough teams. And we'll see how the next couple weeks go. Like it's make or break time, basically, as baseball starts to get down the stretch.
I'm actually 24.
You're 24.
Thank you. Yes.
And my son is more facial hair. You've never shaved, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Pickle Poker, yes, this is me, William Waddy, a.k.a. the New York Knight in the booth tonight. TCH Live 2-5, no limit
I
holding.
know you kidding. Guys.
Jared, 8-7 of spades.
Left hand. Call. Fold.
Kind of limp in. Looks like we have the $10 straddle. Sam has red kings again. But no, he doesn't have red kings. He wouldn't have folded red kings. No way. Scanner messed up. Clearly the scanner messed up.
I'm sorry, say again?
This does happen sometimes, especially between seats 1 and 2 and seats 10 and 9. Cards will pass over one scanner on their way to the other, so not 100% sure that Dante actually has Jack 4 here. Austin does have pocket 10s in the straddle. Isn't it great when the poker guys just reward your straddles with premiums? Faker did make it 125 from the button with a mystery hand. See how Austin decides to proceed. Could flat here. Could go ahead and put in the re-raise here and just get Faker in there. Which would certainly be viable. But he's going to fold 10s. Wow. Pretty big folds. Very surprising. And now Dante is considering whatever he had, he will fold. Baker attempting to scan his cards. They don't seem to have scanned. So we do not know what he had. Excuse me.
Am I allowed to button strap?
There is no button straddle here, sorry.
Ryan. Did I get you in trouble by talking to you?
No, you're fine.
Or I'm allowed, on live stream, I'm allowed to talk to you?
I think it's fine.
As we continue here,
I think as long as I communicate.
another $10 strap.
King 10 of spades. I don't know how you fold ace. That's exactly what I thought I was going to get paid by. I gotta work on my hooker base.
Ace queen for Dante. That's a raise.
That's going to be a raise.
I mean, I get it.
Josh, I think, has 3 betting chips. He's got ace jack. He's pipped, but he's going to 3 bet. Doug's got the king queen suited. This is one that he could consider continuing with.
I gotta show you more bluffs on it.
Problem is he will be out of position, and it will really suck if he gets 4 bet, because Dante could have all the really great hands.
Yeah, you definitely.
Unless he's going to 4 bet. We get a 4 bet out of Doug with the king queen, and he hasn't played a whole lot of hands, so he may get some respect here. Jared just saying nope with those 3s.
I don't really know what you have, but when you check the
Now, Dante's
I was like, either
really in a bind here.
jacks and I block jacks, or it's exactly like
Had a 3 bet and a 4 bet behind him. Ace queen does block aces and queens and ace king, but he has 2 uncapped ranges behind him. Dante is going to let go of the ace queen, which was the best of the 3 hands. Josh is going to go ahead and take this flop in position in a 4 bet pot. Already $615 in the middle as we go to this flop. Ace 6-5, top pair for Josh. Doug with just a couple of back doors. But he is going to tell the story that he has at least 1 ace in his hands. Putting up the bet of 220. Josh considering his options here. If he calls, stack to pot is just under 1. If he raises, he probably just gets action from better hands, so call and let Doug maybe bluff again. 4 on the turn. Doug deciding to check here. Now Josh has a choice. He could check this back, or he could go for some value here. He could decide that he's actually good here. Maybe try and get some value from some kind of heart draw or kings. And Doug is going to give up. And it is a reasonable approach. If you're going to get to the flop the way Doug played it, to bet flop and then give up if you don't turn any equity. I'd love to know what he would have done on a king, queen, jack 10, or spade.
You were right. You had the 4 more.
Especially like a jack of spades where he gets a combo draw,
You out of there.
which we know would have given aces up for Josh.
I think he had, what, probably kings, queens? He just didn't like that ace. Smaller pair? 10?
No. I just squeeze it.
Random garbage. You've been doing that. I mean, and that's the reason that I wanted to look you up, because I folded to you every other time you did that.
Dante's got 5s. He'll put in $5.
Raise 20.
Josh raising now.
Fortunately, Dante was scared of me.
Call.
That sizing would get you out.
No, you don't know Josh.
Jared defending big blinds with Jack 8 suited. Dante calling. And let's go to a flop. Ace King 8. Bottom pair for Jared. The best hands right now. See if he can survive some aggression, which doesn't come. Josh just checking with his gut shot. Turn is the 8 of spades, that magic card that gives Jared trips. And everyone's checking again. Deuce on the river. Jared's got trips. Let's see what he does. He bets 50 into that $62 pot.
Fold. Showdown.
And
Trip 8s.
gonna get no. Dante is gonna call actually with the 5s. Trying to bluff catch. Jared not bluffing, unfortunately for Dante. Justin Sanam, thank you for subscribing. Apologies if I messed that name up.
Small line, please. Thank you.
I'm trying to keep up with this chat. There is so much poker going on, though. We see Sam, Mike, and Jared, the biggest winners. Josh, a decent win, too. Faker and Alessandro have a bit of work to do to get back in the black. Dante raising that suited King 8. Josh calling, Faker calling.
Big blind folds. And we are 3 to a flop.
Ace 10 deuce. Faker with the top pair.
Bet 25.
Dante telling the story, holding just a couple of back doors.
Call.
Faker just going to call the top pair.
Heads up.
And the turn is going to give Faker aces up. It's going to give Dante the club draw. Could get some action here. Dante going to go full pot, $100 bet.
Raise 300.
Faker now going to make it 300. Dante snap calling. See this river. Faker doesn't have much left.
Check.
9.
All in. Fold.
And Faker going to take this down. Like what you're seeing. Hit like, hit subscribe.
Any suggestions for food?
Alex Murray talking about how he might handle playing on the stream. I'll tell you what. Like, you play on the stream, you're going to make mistakes on the stream. Just like you're going to make mistakes off the stream. It happens. It's poker. But you could look at your play, your opponent's play, and hopefully learn some things and improve. I know I've been able to learn a fair amount by watching my play back and learning some things for sure. You always want to get better here. Anything in life, you want to get better. You want to always keep learning. Mike limping with the mystery hand. Jared raising that ace on the button. Alessandro's got deuces. Gonna try and set mine here for 35 bucks. Mike calling with his mystery hands. Alessandro's got a set. Ace, 5, deuce. Jared's got top pair. Alessandro's got bottom set. Mike's got a whole lot of nothing with Jack 8. Checks it over to Jared. Alessandro just calls. $413 left for Alessandro. Half that in the pot right now. See if he manages to get the rest of this in. 8 doesn't change a whole lot. Now Alessandro is going to lead. Interesting choice here. His 130 does get called. Queen on the river. Bottom set going to be best. It's going to be all in. And see what Jared decides to do here. Wondering, is he ever bluffing? There's stuff that missed. He has played a lot of hands, which could get him paid off here. Jared's assembling a call. And he calls and gets shown the set. Alessandro with the double up. Another $535 for him. Ragnar Overby, if I just show up to TCH also and become a member and play that today, yes, you can. You show up here, you can fill out a form to become a member, pay your membership dues, and then you get to play with us. If you're in Austin, feel free to come on over here and do that.
No. The one I do Uber Eats, and it says everything's 45 minutes away, so I don't even think that they do it in Uber Eats. Maybe if I tell the front door.
You could walk out there.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Just tell them to walk.
Raise 15, 5. You can order it, they generally get ready by 5. Okay.
Austin with the suited ace-3 now.
Raise 30.
Making it 15. Alessandro, probably feeling pretty good after that double up. Going to go ahead and put in a 3-bet with the 10-9 offsuit. A little bit of a small sizing. Your problem with the going the 30 over 15 is you're not going to get folds. King 8-6 gives Alessandro the gut shot. Austin over and backdoor, still ahead at the moment by a little bit. 7 on the turn is going to bring in that gut shot for Alessandro, who now has the nuts. He is going to bet. This is probably the end of this hand, as it is. Alessandro suddenly running a bit hotter.
Thank you. Hey, Seth.
Andrew Vodine saying, this is why you don't play trash offsuit ace-X. I'll tell you what, in opening button with the ace-X is fine, I think. In general, though, you do get into some trouble with those weaker aces when a lot of money goes in the pot. On that particular board, I'd probably end up folding just because there aren't a lot of reasonable draws he could have that would have missed. It is a more interesting decision, I think, when there are a lot of bluffs that he could have.
Okay, so. Okay, well, I'm asking because he's adding on 500. Seat 9 is adding on 500, and seat 7 adding on 1,000. Hold on, guys. Yes.
Somebody wondering if this is the sleep stream. No way, this is not the sleep stream. Have you seen how many hands have gotten played tonight? Have you seen how many multi-weave flops we've had? I can't remember the last time we had a heads-up flop. We got lots of action tonight here on TCH Live. Looks like a $10 straddle from Faker, and then a limp from Mike with the queen jack suited. A little bit of a hold up while we get caught up. Now Jared coming in with the 5 deuce, Alessandro with the 7-4. Now Dante, king jack of diamonds, which is actually the best hand, putting in the raise. A little tiny $4 raise again, $40 raise again. Not going to clear out anybody. Faker with the ace-5 of spades coming in, both calling, everyone else calling behind. To the flop we go. 6-5 deuce. Dante with the diamond draw. Alessandro with the open-ended straight draw. Fives and deuces for Jared. I guess Faker's got middle pair too. The two pair best right now. He is going to put in the bet. Alessandro with the quick call of 150. See how Dante plays his diamond draw here. He's just going to call. Faker middle pair. No real draws, and he's going to stick around. So to the turn 4 ways. Is this not action enough? 9 of spades. So fives and deuces still out ahead. And Alessandro still with the draw. Dante still with the draw. Jared betting 300 now, which was like a third pot. Faker's going to get away. Everyone else hanging around. Let's see this river. 8 of hearts. Alessandro getting there with the 9 high straight. Checks over to Alessandro now, who's going to consider his options. Got to bet here. It's got to be all in. He's only got just under 600 bucks. It's a third pot. Just stick it in there and hope somebody's got it. He's going to put most of those chips in the middle. Looks like 500 or 475 rather. 475. Dante contemplating why his diamonds couldn't have gotten there.
Just wasn't expecting it.
Wonder what Dante's considering here. It's 4-liner, everything's there except his draw. He is going to fold. Jared's got 2 pair. He's thinking, oh my God, why did this have to come out of 4-liner? Now losing to any 7, plus a bunch more reasonable draws that stumbled into 2 pair. He is going to call. Alessandro's image getting him paid off. Going to scoop a huge pot here. 2,700 or so. Ships on over to him.
How much are you adding on?
Let's see. What's the Lottie line for PLO? I haven't considered that. I haven't played enough PLO actually to get a sample size to figure out what the line would be. I'm still trying to learn PLO and dabbled in it just a little bit. One time on stream last year on a night that got really interesting. I never thought I'd be playing shorthanded, but I played shorthanded and had some fun there. I'm sure I'll get out there again and play PLO soon. People wondering what Alessandro's experience level is. I'm not sure how experienced he is. Like, if I had to guess, he's probably a bit newer to the game. It's definitely not his first time here. He did take part in our Step 1 tournament this past Sunday, and definitely brought the action there. His chips are always in play. I'll say that for him. And you know what? If you enjoy that, hit like, hit subscribe. Austin opening with King Queen, 50 bucks. Jared and Alessandro with their spades coming along. Josh with the 10-9, another 4-way flop. 6-5-5. Not much for anyone here. Nobody holding hearts. Checks over to Alessandro. Checks it back. 4 of hearts turn. Jared now picks up an open enter actually. And Alessandro gut shot. Josh gonna fire up though. thinking nobody's got anything, so let's try and grab this pot. Alessandro hanging around, jack on the river. Alessandro's ace high good if it gets the showdown.
Bet 250.
Josh going to make it hard for him to get to showdown, betting 250, about half pot. He might find the call with the ace high, though. He is going to let it go. Josh will get him off the superior ace high.
You beat 10 high.
That I can.
Well done by Josh.
Straddle for 10.
I'll tell you what, guys. I mean, you might think that this play is kind of silly. You might think that, what's he doing there? I'll tell you what, poker is interesting in that you could make a mistake and get rewarded for it. Yes, 7-4 is a light holding, but sometimes 7-4 gets there. And there are a whole bunch of different ways you can play this game. And, yeah, people want different things out of poker sometimes.
Well done.
Jared limping in with the jack-9. Sam's got ace-queen. He'll raise. Make it more than $4. I imagine $40. Yeah, 40. And Jared going to take this flop out of position, jack-9 offsuit. And he's going to get jacks up. Of course he's going to get jacks up. Check, check on the flop. Jared fills up. He's hoping Sam fires, and Sam does fire. Just the ace high. Jared's going to call. River is a king. Sam's sitting with nut no pair.
225.
I think Jared put a bet out there. Jared bets 225. He pots it. And now Sam has a hand that can beat bluffs. He is going to let it go. And Jared's going to say, look what I got. I got jack-9.
Straddle 10. Live 10. Coming around.
You know what? Some people have a favorite hand as well. Personally, my favorite hand's aces.
He did? I'm doing that as we speak. That's strap, right?
Yeah, that's a straddle.
No. Very much.
Dante Limp's got a couple of calls.
I'll take one with
Austin taking a free flop. 10-5 suited. And Mike's going to get top pair. Austin middle pair. Not much for anyone else. Austin's going to bet his middle pair. And this limp's pot. Mike going to call. 5 of diamonds. Mike's going to pick up a somewhat marginal flush draw.
Bet 80.
Austin making it 80 now. Mike probably not going away yet.
Call.
Does make the call. See what Austin gets on this river. 9, he does have the 10s and 5s for the 2 pair. And see how much value Austin goes for here. The 9 does bring in the King Jack. But Austin unafraid of the monsters under the bed.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do
Gonna bet the 175. And gonna get paid off here. Gonna show the 2 pair, and Mike's gonna show his queen.
Where are the options? Where are the options?
Squiroo saying crank up some Lottie likes. Yes, crank up the Lottie likes. All 427 of you, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Alex wondering what everybody thought of Brad and Andrew last night. Well, you guys in the chat, tell me, what did you think of that show last night? From the pieces I saw of it, I thought it was decent. I was in here playing some 2-5 myself and hoping to get in that game. Didn't get the chance to until after the stream, but I thought it was a decent show.
Queens made it straight.
It did. But I only chop against king queen, so like I told him, it's a great bluff. Very courageous.
You don't call that with 3,300 bad. And then on the turn, you were dead on
Josh opens the king jack offsuit.
But I'm open ended still. You're right. If you have 7-8 there, I'm basically dead to a chop. You're right. But if you have 7-8 there, well done.
Baker coming along with the king 5. Dominated by Josh right now. That is the problem with big card, little card. You could easily be dominated, just be drawing the 3 outs.
showed it for 225. The queen, right?
He thinks he wants a king. He doesn't want a king. It's going to get him in trouble.
He said that he
Queen
showed
jack
he
4
could
will
nail
get
something
Josh
to
middle
the
pair.
queen. When you folded the queen,
Both players holding the same backdoor straight draw.
Or at worst, like a king queen or something that's chopping. I figure at best I'm chopping. Because I don't have ace queen. So I have the second best straight.
and what was the outcome there?
Basically, it was half my stack at the time.
What was the outcome? You showed live. He didn't have a bubble.
It trips, just trips.
Yeah,
So my
yeah,
queen was good.
Yeah.
Josh going to take it down.
That's probably the crazier bluff.
Jacob Bennett wondering if we've seen a royal flush on TCH Live before. I don't recall seeing a royal flush. We've definitely had some straight flushes. I actually made one myself in a bomb pot once on stream. There was one time I was in one of these Thursday 2-5 games, and we had 2 straight flushes within like 3 hands. And the sick thing is there was a high hand promo going on. So somebody made the high hands of the hour and then quickly had it snatched away. We do have a dealer push going on. Good work, Ryan. And he's going to make way for super producer Carolyn getting back in the box for us. Going to get these cards washed up.
I'm obviously. Oh yeah, pineapple it is.
Are we really doing that?
One, it's 10.
Alex Murray wondering about another vlogger working on a visit here. I have no idea about that. You know more than I do.
I don't know.
Certainly,
I don't know how it works.
certainly, vloggers are usually a lot of fun, and
Yeah, but I don't know how the Discord works.
would
I
be
don't
great.
Wanna, like, just wing it in the middle of the street, you know?
I assume it would be you get the 3 cards, you don't scan it yet, just then you scan it.
That's actually not a bad idea.
I assume that would be it.
All in,
Do not scan anything.
Oh yeah, I was.
Are you a folder?
Well, no, you wait to
On the
scan
flop?
it, like
If you
nobody
jam?
gets to see the
Yeah,
actual.
I mean you'd be jamming 2x pot. I think you only have.
Nobody knows.
Aces, kings, or
what I wonder is how many different vlogs I got in with that meetup game Wednesday. So we had Brad and Andrew here. There were also a couple other vloggers that randomly showed up. We had a couple of the Next Gen guys show up, and 1 or 2 others whose names I can't recall. Here we go with the PLO bomb pot. And 10, 3, deuce. Couple of hearts. Bottom 2 pair for Austin. And Jared has top and bottom and gut shot.
He got a $5 bet.
Alessandro, that little $10 bet again. And Sam's like, well, what do I do now? I got something mediocre, and I'm just going to fold before I get suckered in. Dante calls with a mystery hand. Middle set for Josh. He's going to raise.
You are aware that when I bet very small, that means I should have a better hand. You're aware of that.
Baker's got nut
No,
hearts
you did not.
and bottom pair.
Oh, you paid me up.
He's going to stick around.
I called you on the
Alessandro
flop of the turn, not on the river.
now going
Big raise,
to
you raised the turn. You did five,
wish he had spent those $10 on that bet. So Josh and Faker heads up. 6 of hearts, gonna give Faker the nut hearts. Gonna not change much for Josh. Board does not pair. Faker with the nuts. See what he does as far as extracting some value here.
So does your company mostly like get hired out? Like you have like
Gonna go 200, about 2/3 pot. Josh wondering if his 4th set is any good here. And it's real tricky business in these bomb pots because everyone got to the flop with everything. He's going to face up fold his set.
I think they were good on the flop, but if they turned in.
Yeah, we had Doug Polk here on Wednesday, part of that meetup game. I don't know if he's living in Austin yet or if he's still contemplating moving here or what the story is there, but he's been at TCH a couple times. We had him on the Monday show a few months back. Did not get the chance to play with him or even meet him. That'll be fun to do one day. Alan Piscitello, hi there. I might have mangled your name.
And there. I don't want to watch.
Wondering why I haven't played PLO with him and Doug, because I suck at PLO too much to play 5-5 PLO, especially against a player as great as Doug Polk, let alone Alan, who's a capable PLO player himself.
That's why he's still junior.
And looks like we had an ace of spades exposed, and we're holding up here to get the action sorted out. Looks like Alessandro straddled 10, and then Mike made it 35. We don't know his holding yet. Alessandro, queen 8 of diamonds. King Jack 10. Alessandro with the open enter. Mike with the mystery hands. 5 of hearts. Alessandro may fire here.
It made me like so like sketched out about put my info into, and now I'm like, god damn, like every time I put my credit card in, it's online anyway. It's like,
Whatever Mike has, he's sticking around with that $65 bet. Ace 10. Well, he's got a pair on a gut shot and the superior holding as Alessandro's straight draw bricks out. And check, check. Alessandro giving up. Mike taking it down.
You may be close. Maybe. Well, I have to. I was at, I don't know, 150, 200. And maybe you call, maybe.
People talking about how people are flocking to Austin. And yeah, it's one of the hottest spots in the country. So you meet people from all over. Like, fun fact, nobody working on this show right now is from Texas, which is like the most Austin thing that you could possibly have, where, it's people who have come from all over and now they're here, and doing some fun things.
Seems like a really cool space to be in.
I gotta drink a hero, because I considered something that probably should.
Raise 20.
In terms of like data loss, like chase, a million like credit card numbers.
Faker opening Jack 8. I feel like it's been a few hands since we've heard from him. Ace 8 and 7-3 coming along. Alessandro flopping a pair of 7s, currently ahead, and he is going to fire out a $35 bet. Deuce on the turn changes nothing as Faker sticks around with his Jack high. 125. Nice big pot size bet from Alessandro. Really trying to tell the story that he's got it. Faker folds. Alessandro says, I got a 7. All right, another reminder to join us this weekend for our final table streams. The Dallas final table tomorrow. The Austin WPT Steps, Step 1 final table on Sunday. I'll have the call on that one. Gonna forego playing this week to spend the tournament with you guys in the chat. Besides, I already got my seat. I won my seat on last week's show for the end of the month, Step 2. As we have Dante limping in with the Ace-7 suited. Mike coming in with the King-6. Doug making that small raise with the 10-9. Jared, Ace-Jack saying, hey, I actually have a hand. Makes it 100. And he gets it through. Aggression wins. And Sam, Josh, Mike, and Austin all win. Look at Alessandro. He is back in the black. Dante and Faker hoping to join Alessandro in leaving Stuckville and into the promised lands of profit. And it looks like we have a deck change. We've got super producer Carolyn spreading that deck like a pro.
So you have how many decks?
These cards are somewhat tough to wrangle. They are thicker than normal cards. So, yeah, they're tough to spread, a little tough to shuffle. But we do our best.
What do you, $10? I'm saying $10.
No, these are like 40.
$40 a pack.
40 bucks a deck. But they come from China, and we can't get them through customs right now, so we can't get replacement. So we had to
People
order
talk about
ones that
people
are,
wearing hoodies.
for a pack of 4, it's $5.
I've never been a hoodie guy at the table. Might be because I'm well insulated, shall we say. Might be because I'm from a colder climate and I can just deal with it.
What's that?
No, you get 2 packs for
They aren't. They're just
Yeah.
As we begin another hand, Faker limping the Ace-King of Diamonds. Wonder if we've got a limp re-raise in our future. Mike just flatting the King-Queen.
They're 4 packs of, so 4 decks of cards.
Probably not a clue that he's pipped. Jared limps in Alessandro. Ace-Queen for Alessandro. Oh no, he's got a hand, but it's second best.
Playing about 1,000.
Sam releasing the deuces. Dante coming along with those 9s. Now let's see what Faker does here.
Shuffle the black chips.
He just calls. Wow, he just calls. Would have been a wonderful spot to re-raise there. Dante could have even considered re-raising if he wanted to maybe get Alessandro to himself. Not that it would have worked against Faker's exact holding. But Faker calls, Mike calls, Jared calls, and Jared flops the nuts! Jared with the 8-5, he flops the nuts straight. Dante's got an overpair. Probably going to cost him some. Jared just checks. Checks all the way through, and now the king on the turn gives Faker and Mike both top pair. This could be a good one. Dante finally checks. Faker checks his top pair. Mike gonna bet his top pair. Jared just gonna flat it. He knows he's printing money, and Faker's gonna make it, I think, about 300. Just 300, a little teeny tiny raise. Top pair, top kicker, drawing dead. Mike now calling. See what Jared does. He's now going to put in the 3-bet. This might end it. Makes it $1,100 or so. Faker with just 500 left. It would be all of his chips. Such a disgusting spot for both Faker and Mike here. This bet, raise, back raise 3-bet. He's got to be sick to his stomach right now, but he's also got to feel priced in. Jared could have had a set that's slow played. You may not want to slow play on that exact board. He is going to let go of the ace-king. And now Mike wondering if his king-queen could ever actually be good. If he's ever, like, messing around with a 5 somehow. Or worse, king. Like, we've seen some weird stuff tonight. But I think Mike's probably going to end up folding here. And he's going to turn one face up. A little card funeral here. And Jared's going to show the nuts.
But that's the one we want to know about.
Little surprised that Jared decided to go for the raise there, especially having position. He could have put money in on the river if it were to check to him. If you just flat turn, you do give the chance for somebody to think they're good on the river. Like, what rivers are you worried about? You're worried about the board pairing, and you're worried about what else apart from the board pairing? Probably not worried about a flush draw.
It's not going to work multiple days in a row.
The straight was pretty safe there.
You have to look back at your cards like,
Because you're right. The bluff they're trying to pick up with
So,
this is insane.
action pot. Hit like.
Just pray.
Some good action there. And Mike now going to get the ace-queen. Doug now raising the king-jack. Pretty big raise, going to 45.
Checks on stream. Raise.
You can fold that card?
Sam called, Dante called.
Jack of clubs and
Jack Knight of diamonds, button. Could get behind that. Dante gonna set mine. Mike now gonna put in that back raise with the ace queen. The one that you probably should have done
Caroline knows.
with the Ace King. Well, not Mike, but
on like the poker.
Oh boy.
but Faker with the Ace King
But it's
on
just
that
like
last
this guy
hand.
going through like his online hand
Pull the trigger on that,
and showing
please.
you all the times where he like 4-bet aces and then gets called, flops top set, and then open full. And it's just like time after time after time of hands like that. It's hilarious. It's really worth watching.
Are there like draws in mono?
No.
Now
So
Sam's
he just
going
has,
to
he's like he's multi-tabling.
go
like,
away
14
after
tables
seeing that
and
3-bet.
just mixes them up.
Yeah.
Which is the downside when you're dealing with some of these limpers, like they could put in that re-raise.
Yeah, heads up.
I'll take some.
And then that kind of sucks when that happens. Queen 6-6. Mike's got top pair.
No, I just
Way older videos. Some guy who does like a.
I'll take the other 10.
He doesn't want to sell them all.
That's right.
Bet.
I think we got a little change getting made here. Mike's going to bet and get the fold from Dante, it looks like.
Straight to black. Those for green.
Those white chips, $1 chips.
I'll give you a red for this.
We use those for the small blind and for tipping the dealer in this game. And
You can't get it on that. Oh,
with this table not having a well, any change has to get made on the table, just like you're playing a tournament. Red chips are $5, green chips are $25, black chips $100, pink chips $500. We don't have any of the orange plaques, but those would be worth $1,000. The purple chips are $2 tip chips. They're not in play. I see people in the chat giving me garbage about folding ace king pre-flop. That only happened one time, guys, in Dallas. And it was a middle-aged guy making a weird raise, and I don't know the guy. And he had 8-7 offsuit, which, you know. Sometimes you look like a genius, sometimes you look like a fool. And that time I looked like a fool.
You never know when it's coming, though. That's the thing. Just because I did it 10 minutes ago doesn't mean that that's in there and it's what I'm about to do now.
Raise 35.
7-4 again?
Better.
Like, this is a hand I have not had yet tonight.
Call.
I'm going to play it.
Call. Call. Exactly.
All right, Alessandro raising over Jared's limp. Alessandro with a reasonable king jack. 8-6-4 is going to give gutters to Faker and to Jared. King jack high is still best of the hands that we know about. We don't know what Josh has.
$5.
I just love the, I fucking love the Tic Tac. It's so funny. Like the way you like eat them and just like make it seem like
I don't want to like touch it with my.
No, I know.
What a min bet from Alessandro. Now Dante saying, what's going on here? I raise.
Don't you dare.
Josh folds whatever he had. Faker calling with the 7-deuce. As far as I know, we don't have any kind of 7-deuce game on. But you know what is on the 3 of spades on the turn.
So 145.
So Faker gonna fold to the bet. King high gonna do it for Dante.
What? I had a pocket pair pre-flop. Three overs on the set line. The Mighty Ducks.
So we're getting into what some of us call power hour here, the last hour of the stream.
Had 2 overs.
Might see a little bit more action, might see these chips fly as maybe people start to get unstuck.
2s right here.
All right, live.
Last time I was on here, power hour went pretty good for me. We do 10, 20, 40 straddles, I immediately double up. If only it could always go that way. Nice when your aces
That
hold.
one's you.
See, I didn't know Dante was capable.
Fold.
Yeah, king high.
Flush draw, straight draw.
So that I can finish my dinner.
Okay. Raise 40. Fold. Fold.
That make
Fold.
Yes, please.
All right. $40 raise from Josh, King 7 suited. Just getting that one through. Look at these VPIPs. Doug still 10%. Hopefully we can find him some cards. Josh, Baker, Mike, Alessandro, all extremely active. I'd say pretty active too. 29% pretty active.
She said no to pineapple.
Doug, we're gonna
I
beat
just
that
know
shit.
how it would work on the
We're
stream.
gonna beat that out of you by the time you leave.
People suggesting we get a commentator's game going. And who's going to commentate that stream though?
Once per
Who commentates on the commentators?
half an hour. I guess it's once every hour. You know?
How often do they change dealers? Hour and a half?
Every hour.
Rest assured, I've played with all of the commentators, I think.
Over there is half hour, yeah.
And they're all fun to play with. Probably played with most of the dealers here too, and most of the fours here too in some fashion. Especially in the mixed games. We got aces for Mike. So Alessandro made it 35 with an ace of his own. Faker flatted, and Mike wakes up with the aces, makes it 175. Now Doug has the ace-10 suited, the last ace, and he makes the fold. Like, he finally gets a hand, but there's a whole bunch of action ahead of him, and he's got to get away from it. And rightfully so, in all kinds of trouble against aces. Alessandro, Faker both calling. 540 in the pot. To the flop we go. 9, 5, deuce. Ace is still well ahead. Both players drawing almost dead here. And Mike gonna put out the C bet, 275. Not gonna get any takers. And Cameron Lucas, thanks for subscribing. If you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe. 179 likes, 428 of you watching. There's still like half of you that haven't hit like yet. And I'd encourage you to hit like. You're still watching. You must enjoy this content. And the more likes, the more people get exposed to TCH Live by the YouTube gods. And the more fun we get to have.
You're first up. Nope, you're the big blind. I lied. It just looks like it.
I think DQ is like, he's the ultimate Iberian play stop.
35.
Jared limp center the gun. Jack 10 off. Alessandro raising it up with the deuces. Bunch of callers here. Eight, 7, 5. Faker with middle pair and the best hands. Nobody holding a diamond. Alessandro gonna put out that bet though. Going big again.
You get down there.
And he is gonna get it through. Don't know who's running the TCH Live YouTube account tonight, but I'm enjoying some of these posts. You won't like the lottie when you don't hit like. Well, hit like then. And of course, hit subscribe if you want to be apprised of when we're on the air again.
We keep it at 10 and 15 bets. We know how to play.
Yeah.
Not like these pros.
I'm coming.
He's going to limp in.
Oh, here he is.
Dante's going to get back to his seat before his cards get mucked. Going to find out that they weren't worth racing back for. Baker folds. Mike not at the table. Looks like he's having some food off to the side. Thanks for keeping our table clean. Doug going to raise the ace-king. Finally gets a hand, makes it 50. And everyone folds.
Like, the thing about getting past them is that, like, it's no longer even fun to talk crap.
It's not.
Because it's just like, yeah, well, you know.
I'm sorry. You just feel bad
It's
for
like, yeah,
everybody
it's
else.
like, yeah, what ground are you going to
Paul D, why would you want an announcer change?
Yeah, it's like literally just not fun.
Don't worry.
It's like, oh, you're a cowboy.
I'll tell you when you'll get an announcer change. Tomorrow, when you put on the TCH Dallas stream, I won't be doing that one.
Hey, you told me what you asked me to do something, and I'm succeeding in that task.
What did he ask me?
To deal him trash so he finishes dinner.
I don't want to sit here and have to play a hand. I want to eat.
Heads up.
Austin opens his button, gets a defense from Alessandro on the big blinds. King, Jack, 10. So top pair for Austin. Alessandro, bottom pair, and the tail ends of a straight draw. He is going to raise. And Austin's going to scratch his head a little bit. He does have kicker problems. And certainly he will not want to see an ace, queen, or 9 turn from his vantage point. He will hang around, though. Queen on the turn, so Alessandro is going to get there with the straight, but it's losing to any ace. He is going to bet, though, and now this might be where Austin gives up.
Oh, it does. Oh, it does.
Let's ask Carolyn.
Not sure what Alessandro's saying, but giving you guys a chance to hear it.
Just call. Just call.
Gonna fold the king face up, and Alessandro's gonna show the 10.
10 beats king every time.
Thank you for the 50.
You're welcome, you're welcome. Don't spend it all in one place.
Give it to Caroline.
Thanks for the compliments, chatters.
Okay.
Great to hear that you're enjoying this. Paul D thinking I need a co-host. Well, I mean, we're going to see in the future what these streams look like as far as who's going to do them, with whom. I'm sure if I keep doing these, I'll have a co-host working with me in the future. But a little bit of a transition period right now here at Austin. And
The delay right now is like.
yeah, like we'll see what people like, and it's definitely good to have somebody to bounce off of. Blind versus blind action.
20 and.
Alessandro gonna open to 20. Sam gonna call. Both with some reasonable hands to do this with ace, ace, 5. Something for everyone. Again, Alessandro flopping clubs. And Sam with the pair of 5s.
And I have fun.
It's a really funny dynamic when you can just see that.
That's why you want it.
Yeah, 15 minutes later.
I know you guys don't walk away over there.
Yeah. I'm with you. I don't like
Yeah, so we got a quick bet and a raise and a call. King on the turn.
Fair.
You have the best seat. You can just like casually
Bet by
walk.
Sam, call by Alessandro.
And I wear sunglasses.
Sam's still good on this river. Check, check.
Barely any cards.
Yeah.
And not Vittorio, Alessandro. They look so much alike. I can't believe it took me this long to screw that up. Alessandro's saying, hey, look what I had. Almost had it.
Live stream.
And you know what? Even like the queen 10 high could be good sometimes if he's against another misdraw.
Runner.
It was already at the, it was already on turn. It was at the turn, right?
No, that's the flop.
C4 is 400 behind.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
There's a $10 straddle. Another open limp by Faker. Doug's got ace queen. And he's going to get in there. Alessandro defending button, jack 8 suited. Josh with an ace queen of his own. Let's see how he decides to play this. Oh, Faker called out a turn. Faker's called out of turn here. And Carolyn's now pointing to the action being on Josh, who is now going to put in the raise. So Faker can, so the action's changed now. Faker could just fold like he did, and he's only in for the $10 as opposed to the 50. And now Doug's going to fold the ace queen. Josh is going to get him off of the chop here. And yeah, the $10 back out there from Faker. Little misclick there. 9-5-3, ace queen still out front. Just back doors for Alessandro. Alessandro calling the 150.
I would hope so, the way you're betting.
And now does turn a gut shot. Any jack, 8, or 7 now good for him. Check, check. And there's the jack. So Alessandro is going to get there on the river with the top pair. Josh going to check it to him, see if he goes for some value here. Spades do come in. Spades fairly unlikely here. But always nice to get there on the river.
Yeah, everything's fresh, which is really weird.
I would definitely call 5.
Do you get food from a visa? Oh yeah, that place is awesome.
Fires out a little bet there.
Like a food smell.
$20. And he gets called.
Not with bar. I just don't, you know, no, they don't really no bar there.
So
I got lucky on the float.
another one for Alessandro.
I still had overs to everything on that.
Holy fuck. I looked at the camera, I looked at the TV, and I saw you, and I'm like, dude, I look really fucking thin there. That's fucking not me, man. That sucks. Don't laugh.
You gotta remember, I'm doing all this for Will.
So one more reminder of our Bad Beat jackpot across all 4 Texas Card House locations. Everyone in the club wins $100 when it hits. Every day the jackpot goes up $1,000 and the qualifier goes down by 1 hand. Complete details at texascardhouse.com.
You're absolutely right.
As we stand now, jackpot is
100%.
$42,000. Quad 10s or better, having to get beaten by a straight flush or better. Mike limping in here.
35.
I thought they were all straddled.
Yeah, I thought they were.
No, they took it when we took it.
Jared raising the ace jack.
The button was in the wrong place. Well, they thought the button was perfectly placed by Carolyn. They just didn't realize it.
We fucked up. Let's call it. I still have sushi on my brain.
I heard that picture.
Bad case of
Omega,
city.
Make it.
Sleep in your brain.
Alessandro wants to see a flop, and
Isn't that true?
Mike
Make 3s? Yeah, I asked it. No, I asked it. They're good for me. What is it, 35? Yeah.
calling, I guess.
That's all.
Oh, okay. They were very good.
6 in the window, 9 and a 4 to go with it. So Alessandro with the pair of 6s backdoor straight draw. Mike with a pair of 4s backdoor straight draw. Jared with just a couple overs. Alessandro potting it.
Fourth place at 14.
Mike calls. 9 pairs on the turn.
I'm more interested in those.
Alessandro firing out another 150. About half pot this time. And Mike's going to call, and still not a believer. 8 on the river. Pair of 6s will be good if this goes to showdown. Check, check. Alessandro wins. One of the dangers of playing one of these weaker hands like the 7-4 out of position.
With your 5, I got a straight, so that's
The aggressive image Alessandro's built, definitely getting him paid here. All right, as we continue on, another $10 straddle. Don't think we've seen much tonight as far as double straddles, but plenty of single straddles.
Mike and Sam are about 1
That's going to be a misread on 1.
I've definitely seen like $600 straddles in the past. Makes for some weird spots. It's where it comes in handy to know how to play a short stack, which is basically what you're playing then.
It's a live 10,
But
fold.
at that time, you probably.
Oh, that was 10 minutes ago. Did you win one?
I didn't win shit.
Fold.
Bunch of folds. All the way to the small blind. Josh going to limp in with his ace-3.
Raise 40.
Faker limps. Mike now raising his mystery hands in the straddle. Josh calls, Faker calls.
You kept, the way you said, you kept singing.
Nobody in a folding move this evening. King 10, 5, 2 clubs. We don't know what Mike has. He has something that he's betting about 65 with. And call from Josh with the ace high. Does pick up the gut shot on the 4 turn. Clubs do get there. Check, check. 7 of spades river. See if anyone decides to fire at this. Josh does decide to fire with his missed straight draw and just the ace high. 175. Fairly big sizing. Mike's reaching for some chips. Looks like a call. And see what Mike has. I think Mike has the winner. We don't have his hands at the moment, but Mike is getting the chips. He has King 8 of hearts, so flop the top pair and he held. So Sam and Mike, the biggest winners. Alessandro, Jared, Austin, looking pretty good.
I didn't like it. It's like, there's not many good turn cards. You're going to bet the turn 100% of the time.
Also Josh winning tonight.
I would have probably slowed down. I would have slowed down on the 9, not a queen piece, because I could have crushed.
That makes sense.
And when the show's over, the game does continue as long as players keep wanting to play. I may jump in there myself if a seat opens up. 9-8 suited for Austin, kind of open. Looks like a decent size there over the $10 straddle, makes it 50.
Let's not read too much.
Bigger will probably get you a few more folds, but it does make the stacks shallower in spots where maybe you want to play deeper and be able to have better odds to see multiple streets. And look at that flop Faker, top pair plus spade draw. Austin with bottom pair and a gut shot. Ace of diamonds on the turn. Neither player really loving that. Austin could say I got top pair now, but he decides to check. 5 of clubs on the river. Queen's going to be good for Faker. Going to bet 75. See if Austin decides to find a call. Yeah, there are some missed draws out there, but there's certainly also a lot of ways a draw could have stumbled into a better pair. He does fold. We are so close to 200 likes. Let's get a few more likes out there. Let's get us over 200. I'd love to hit that 250 Lottie goal this evening, but I mean, I'll take all the likes I can get. We'll get some subscribes. If you want to support the show, there's also that super chat button if you're so inclined. The staff always appreciates those. They do a fine job of putting this show together for you and for all of us playing. Looks like we did have a $20 straddle here. Alessandro getting in there with the Queen 10. Josh going to raise the Queen 5. Josh is going for it here. Jared calls with the King Queen suited, the best hands of the 3 that are going to go to this flop of King 10 6. So here are kings for Jared, 10s for Alessandro. Nothing for Josh, but he is betting. He can definitely rep that he's got it. No believers, though. They both call. 9 of spades on the turn is going to give cut shots to Alessandro and Josh. Now Alessandro putting out that bet. Josh is thinking about this. I imagine this is a fold. You have basically nothing here. He will fold. Jared's going to fold the king. Wow.
I had one of those.
Alessandro's aggression getting it done for him again, as super producer Carolyn will push him another pot. Alessandro now sitting on 3,700, the biggest of the stacks at our table. Austin over 3K. All of these players can match up to the biggest stack if they so desire. How late are we going? We're going a little bit more than half an hour here.
That's me. I just squeeze and you're all fold.
0.
But I haven't got a showdown. I haven't turned on a single fucking hand. That's crazy.
6-5 suited comes in.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Ace King for Faker. Another wimp.
Either getting out or getting
Come on, Ace King's a good hand, guys. You can raise Ace King.
We're freaking 3 hours into this.
9 deuce deuce. Ace King out ahead with the nut no pair. 8 of spades turn. How many times have we seen that card tonight? Jack River. Check, 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 check. Faker picks up a couple of blinds with Ace King.
No, I'm fucking glad.
I assume Ace
I'd rather,
King was
I'd rather fucking flop both and make,
I mean,
you know what I mean? That would piss me off.
Austin shares to muck their hands. So just making sure that it doesn't. No.
207 waves. I'm liking that.
Like, it'll automatically award it to the winning hand. Yeah, I figured as much.
Whoa.
Latin.
Very confused by that one. Yeah, that's pretty wild, dude. What are you doing?
Definitely tell us how you're liking this Friday night programming. Still definitely playing with some things as far as what kind of games we bring to you. Dante and Mike in there. Suda Connect turns an ace. Doug getting in there with a mystery hand. Austin with the 6-5 of diamonds. Jared with the 4 of diamonds. Hey, I see a straight flush between all these hands. Not that it means anything at all. 8 of spades again. 8-8-5 trips for Dante. He's got the whole world here. Still not sure what Doug has. Alessandro betting. And he won't even get through one player. Dante with the trips going nowhere at all. Now we get to the turn heads up. 4 on the turn. 7-6 does get there, but Dante does have the 7 blocker. And he's probably not that scared against the player who tends towards aggression. Dante now going to put in that raise. Alessandro with just a gut shot here, which is no good. That 7 would fill Dante. My screen's gone dark. Oh no! Oh no. Having some technical difficulties here. Are we off the air?
The action tracker says connecting. The main, where I see the table, just went away completely.
Yeah, I got nothing on YouTube. I don't even know if this audio is going out right now. People were saying I'm hilarious, so probably.
No, it's GFX.
Okay, so we are working on this, guys. Okay, so they can hear me. Do we at least know what happens on that pot? So we are figuring this out here, guys. Apologies for this. What are we doing, Seth? Okay, so with us being within half an hour of the scheduled end of our program, and with these technical problems seeming to take too long to fix, we are going to have to sign off a bit early, guys, unfortunately. Thank you for watching, and join us again tomorrow for the final table at Dallas. Our WPT Steps 1 table right back here in Austin on Sunday with yours truly on the call. Thank you all again for watching. Sorry we couldn't get through this great show. And have a great evening. Not your fault, Seth.